Welcome to the Fantasy Audiobook. Hokage's Strongest Krypton Gold System. Chapter 81. What's the use of this summoning beast summoning field? Uchiha Kamizuki turned his eyes and landed on the system spirit Furokumaru beside him, and then asked. The summoning beast summoning field allows the host to summon all kinds of summoning beasts, and then train them to fight for the host. Facing Uchiha Kamizuki's question, Furokumaru smiled slightly and explained to Uchiha Kamizuki. The entire summoning beast summoning field is divided into two parts. One part is the summoning space where the summoning beast summoning is located, and the other is the summoning beast shopping mall. Summoning beast summoning space is a place for summoning beasts to rest, recover from injuries and increase their strength. The summoning beast mall sells the food, medicine, and all the things used to enhance their strength related to the summoning beasts. Then how do I get this summoning beast? After listening to Furokumaru's explanation, Uchiha Kamizuki asked again. It's very simple. It's the same as drawing a character card. Through random drawing, the price is 3,000 taels per draw. Furokumaru took a look at Uchiha Kamizuki, a cat face, could not help showing a faint smile, said. Reminder, the recruitment of summoning beasts is a must every time. The recruitment of summoning beasts is a must every time. Uchiha Kamizuki looked at Furokumaru with a look of disbelief, as if wondering if he heard it wrong. Judging from the cheating nature of the system, the recruitment of summoning beasts should be another big money scammer. How can there be a situation where they must win every time? Could it be that? You want to trick me into a pit again? When Uchiha Kamizuki first heard Furokumaru say that it would take a full 3,000 taels to draw, Uchiha Kamizuki had already planned to give up the function of the summoning beast summoning field. After all, the current Uchiha Kamizuki doesn't even have enough money to recruit ninjas and open a daily practice field, so how can there be any money to raise summoning beasts? However, if a draw of 3,000 taels is a must, then it is necessary to make good use of it. After all, a powerful summoning beast can boost a ninja too much. The most obvious thing is that the three summoning beasts of Konoha Sannin and the others can not only greatly increase their own strength, but also learn the celestial arts from the master. There are also more powerful summoning beasts, namely Hanzo of the Salamander's summoning beast Salamander, Dried Persimmon Kisami's summoning beast Shark, Sarutobi Hiruzen's summoning ape demon and so on. These summoning beasts are all very powerful summoning beasts, and the strength of each summoning beast is almost close to cage level strength. Uchiha Kamizuki is serious now and wants to get a powerful summoning beast. Among other things, just a summoning beast that is good at speed can be used by Uchiha Kamizuki as a mount, so it is better to travel than to use it. Walking on two legs is much better. Thinking of this, Uchiha Kamizuki couldn't help feeling hot, and then asked Fu. What you said is true, every time I recruit, I must win. Yes, dear host. Upon hearing this, Furokumaru smiled slightly at Uchiha Kamizuki, and gave the answer that Uchiha Kamizuki most wanted. It would be great. After Uchiha Kamizuki heard Furokumaru's answer, a big stone in his heart suddenly fell, and then he changed his mind and came to the summoning beast summoning field. Since every recruitment is a must, I'll take one first and try my luck. 3,000 taels of lousy is still affordable. Uchiha Kamizuki gritted his teeth. Anyway, he had already spent a lot of money today, not short of 3,000 taels. Immediately, he had a thought and came to recruit. Following the Uchiha Kamizuki account, after a number of 3,000 taels disappeared again, the light curtain in front of him immediately changed strangely, and an image appeared. The next moment, a notification sound from the system rang in Uchiha Kamizuki's mind. Congratulations to host, you have recruited the white summoning beast boar. Big. Big. Wild boar. Uchiha Kamizuki stared straight at the light curtain, the brown wild boar with its fangs exposed, its forehead could not help but bulge with blue veins. Yes, it's a big wild boar. Seeing Uchiha Kamizuki's gloomy expression that was about to drip, Furokumaru quickly explained. The system divides summoning beasts into 6 grades: white, green, blue, purple, orange, and gold. Host, you're lucky this time, and you won the white day. Can we be more sincere and less routine? As soon as Uchiha Kamizuki imagined himself riding this big wild boar on the battlefield in the future, he immediately felt a throbbing pain in his heart. Tell me the truth, this white-level summoning beast, shouldn't it be an ordinary beast? Uchiha Kamizuki glanced again at the big wild boar on the light curtain in front of him, then focused his eyes on Furokumaru again, and said murderously. Just kidding, how can the white-level summoning beasts be ordinary beasts? They all have genin-level combat power. After Furokumaru got a little far away from Uchiha Kamizuki, he continued to speak. In the definition of the system, white corresponds to genin-level combat power, green is chunin level, blue is jonin level, purple is elite jonin level, orange is kage level, and gold is super kage level. Yes, that makes sense. Uchiha Kamizuki also heard this, and nodded in comfort, then, as if something sounded again, he immediately asked Furokumaru again. By the way, 99% of the summoning beasts in this summoning field are white-level summoning beasts. How can it be? Hearing this, Furokumaru said to Uchiha Kamizuki as if he had been insulted. It's only 90%. Grass. After listening to Furokumaru's answer, Uchiha Kamizuki immediately extinguished the idea of getting a summoning beast in the nearest place. Grandfather is not playing anymore. After giving Furokumaru a fierce look of contempt, Uchiha Kamizuki directly spit out the system space, which is filled with a strong smell of cheating. After exiting the system space, without saying a word, Uchiha Kamizuki directly tore open a sealed scroll containing illusion. Buzz buzz buzz. The entire sealing scroll shook suddenly, and the next moment it turned into a dot of white light, which entered Uchiha Kamizuki's mind. Boom! A stream of information spread out in Uchiha Kamizuki's mind in an instant like a star explosion. Everything about the illusion of mirror world transfer just appeared in Uchiha Kamizuki's mind, allowing him to experience the entire creation process of mirror world transfer illusion over and over again from the perspective of a creator. I don't know how much time has passed, maybe a day, maybe a moment, until Uchiha Kamizuki completely understood everything about the ninjutsu of mirroring the world, and Uchiha Kamizuki recovered from the illusion. The products produced by this system are really high-quality products. Uchiha Kamizuki is completely at this time, and has mastered the illusion of mirroring the world, and can already cast it as he likes. If it's an S-level ninjutsu outside of the learning system, I'm afraid it will take at least 10 days before I can officially get started. However, after I have the system, basically as long as I can accept the inheritance of the entire technique, I can completely master this technique and exert the greatest power of this technique. If this is the case, I have won completely, and I am on the starting line. Thinking of this, Uchiha Kamizuki couldn't help but looked at the other seal scrolls in his hand with joy, and an unprecedented satisfaction appeared on his face. Next, Uchiha Kamizuki learned several illusions one after another, and then began to rest. He made up his mind that he would not rush back to Konoha village today. The next day, early morning, Uchiha Kamizuki got up early, shot a few wild animals and roasted them, and then embarked on a journey back to Day Village. It took about half a day before Uchiha Kamizuki returned to Konoha village. As soon as Uchiha Kamizuki returned to Konoha village, he received a summons from 3rd Hokage, and then came to Sarutobi Hiruzen's Hokage office without stopping. Hokage-sama, things just die like this. During Sarutobi Hiruzen's inquiry, Uchiha Kamizuki briefly reported everything about this mission. You said that another person pretended to be an Anbu ninja and attacked and killed him. Sarutobi Hiruzen glanced at Uchiha Kamizuki and asked. Hearing this, Uchiha Kamizuki couldn't help showing a frightened expression, and said. Yes, I'm fortunate enough to be vigilant enough, otherwise I'll be recruited. Well, I know this one thing. Sarutobi Hiruzen frowned slightly, then smiled again, and said to Uchiha Kamizuki, I'll let you pass the Chunin assessment you applied for, go down and get ready. Yes, Master Hokage. Hearing this, Uchiha Kamizuki understood that Sarutobi Hiruzen was about to see off a guest, so he saluted respectfully and left Sarutobi Hiruzen's Hokage office. After dealing with Sarutobi Hiruzen's cross-examination, Uchiha Kamizuki had a dinner party with the interrogators, Uchiha Obito, Mitarashi Anko, Yuhi Red and others. This barbecue meal has been eaten by Uchiha Kamizuki for a long time, mainly because Mitarashi Anko, these bear children, are extremely interested in the so-called ninja missions. Therefore, the bear children insisted on forcing Uchiha Kamizuki to explain to them the specific process of their mission this time. Uchiha Kamizuki had already recounted it to Sarutobi Hiruzen earlier, and at this time, it was like memorizing a text, and he repeated it to Mitarashi Anko and the others. But even Uchiha Kamizuki's dry retelling can't resist the enthusiasm of this group of brats. No way, Uchiha Kamizuki could only cooperate with them, playing a supporting role helplessly. Maybe Hitaki Kakashi Nehi is probably unwilling to deal with this situation, so he would rather just read pornographic books than play with children. Together, Uchiha Kamizuki and Kamizuki are more than 30 years old. When we are with these students, we always have the feeling that he is the principal of the kindergarten. After dealing with Mitarashi Anko and the others, Uchiha Kamizuki walked towards his home. As a result, as soon as Uchiha Kamizuki arrived at the door, he met Namikaze Minato and Uzumaki Kushina, who were already waiting at his door. Ah, Ms. Minato, Sister Kushina. After meeting Namikaze Minato and Uzumaki Kushina, the two of them, Kamizuki froze for a moment. He originally planned to visit Namikaze Minato and the others tomorrow, but unexpectedly, Namikaze Minato and the others came to visit him first. Kamizuki, would you mind inviting me and Kushina to your house? Namikaze Minato smiled slightly and said in a slightly joking tone. Ah, I was rude, Mr. Minato. Uchiha Kamizuki heard this, and immediately stepped forward to open the door, and rushed in Namikaze Minato and Uzumaki Kushina. After entering the room, Uchiha Kamizuki first poured 2 cups of tea for Namikaze Minato and Uzumaki Kushina, and then said apologetically. I'm sorry, Mr. Minato, I haven't lived at home for a while, and now I only have these teas. It's okay, in fact, Kushina and I came to see you today because we have business to discuss. Namikaze Minato didn't like these vain gifts, he came to Uchiha Kamizuki because he really had something to do, so he said directly. Kamizuki, Master Zishao has already told me about your mission before, and you performed very well. Namikaze Minato first praised Uchiha Kamizuki's previous performance, and then he looked straight and said to Uchiha Kamizuki. Let me tell you next, the next thing about the Chunin exam. About the Chunin exam. Hearing this, Uchiha Kamizuki couldn't help being slightly stunned. He always thought that he would definitely be able to pass, so he didn't pay too much attention to these. However, judging from what Namikaze Minato means now, it seems that the situation of the Chunin exam has changed this time. Not bad. Just when Uchiha Kamizuki guessed the specific situation, Namikaze Minato said directly. Since the end of the Second Ninja World War, many villages have concluded a mutual offensive and defensive alliance treaty with our Konoha village. Therefore, in order to strengthen this alliance, our Konoha village decided to hold the first joint Chunin examination of all major ninja villages. Having said that, Namikaze Minato paused, turned to Uchiha Kamizuki, and said solemnly. Kamizuki, Hokage-sama hopes that you will be able to show the momentum of our Konoha village as the host this time, do you understand? It seems that Sarutobi Hiruzen also saw the recent Ninja World in 2009, and it began to become turbulent. Sarutobi Hiruzen wanted to use this opportunity of the Chunin exam to show off his muscles so as to frighten those ninjas who were already about to move. Almost just a thought, Uchiha Kamizuki roughly understood the meaning of Sarutobi Hiruzen. However, Namikaze Minato's, you, made Uchiha Kamizuki's heart move slightly, and immediately asked. Mr. Minato, you said just now that, we, should perform well, but who else is involved? It's like this, Kamizuki, this time our village has decided that this time the joint Chunin exam, the rules have been changed to groups of 3, and the assessment will be conducted in groups. Therefore, Master Hokage has arranged for you to take part in the Chunin exam this time as a team with Hitaki Kakashi and Sarutobi Tonari this time. Hearing this, Uchiha Kamizuki couldn't help being taken aback, he was a little confused what Sarutobi Hiruzen was doing. It's okay if you act alone, after all, both Uchiha Kamizuki and Hitaki Kakashi are very strong. However, Sarutobi Hiruzen also arranged for a Sarutobi family soy sauce customer to be in a group with Uchiha Kamizuki, but let Hitaki Kakashi also be in a group with him, which made Uchiha Kamizuki feel puzzled. You know, some time ago Uchiha Kamizuki had a hard fight with Hitaki Kakashi. As a result, Uchiha Kamizuki not only snatched Hitaki Kakashi, not to mention the title of the first genius in Konoha village, but also sent Hatake Kakashi into the hospital for half a recuperation area. Under such circumstances, he and Hatake Kakashi are forced to be assigned to a group. What kind of brainless operation is this? According to Uchiha Kamizuki's understanding of Hatake Kakashi was very competitive when he was a child, and the possibility of reconciliation with him is really unlikely. Thinking of this, Uchiha Kamizuki couldn't help pinching the center of his eyebrows with a headache, and then said to Namikaze Minato. Mr. Minato, it's not that you don't know that I just had a competition with Hatake Kakashi a while ago. Just ask me to cooperate with him right now, even if I am willing, Hatake Kakashi may not be willing. Having said that, Uchiha Kamizuki couldn't help but pause, and after observing Namikaze Minato's expression for a while, he continued. Besides, this time the exam is calculated in a group form. I'm afraid that the three of us may end up failing. If none of us can pass, then the fun will be great. Hearing this, Namikaze Minato couldn't explain clearly, so he scratched his head in embarrassment and said. I think that Master Hokage must have his own deep meaning in this arrangement. What I'm F***C King afraid of the most is the deep meaning of Sarutobi Hiruzen. After listening to Namikaze Minato's explanation, the corners of Uchiha Kamizuki's mouth twitched slightly. Who doesn't know that the reason why Konoha village is getting weaker and weaker is because of Sarutobi Hiruzen's thoughtful arrangement and Shimura Danzo's divine assist? It was the tacit cooperation of these two brothers that dragged Konoha village down from the position of the first ninja village. Every time I want to be Shimura Danzo, the elite ninja in my own village. Uchiha Kamizuki will give birth to an illusion that Shimura Danzo is another ninja village, a senior spy placed in Konoha village. It's okay, Kamizuki, you don't have to worry so much. Looking at the speechless expression on Uchiha Kamizuki's face, Namikaze Minato scratched his head in embarrassment, then smiled at Uchiha Kamizuki and said comfortingly. I believe that Mr. Hokage must have thought of these problems long ago, and he has already arranged everything. After all, Namikaze Minato turned his head and glanced at the sky outside the window, and found that it was almost night, and immediately continued to speak. By the way, at noon tomorrow, the first session of the Chunin exam will start, so I won't bother you to rest, Shunjo. Seeing that Namikaze Minato was about to leave, Uzumaki Kushina quickly opened his mouth and said to Uchiha Kamizuki. Brother Kamizuki, Sister Kushina will go to cheer you on, so you must work hard for tomorrow's exam. As he spoke, Uzumaki Kushina stretched out his hand, touched Uchiha Kamizuki's head, and continued to cheer Uchiha Kamizuki. After all, Brother Kamizuki is the first genius in our Konoha village. It's just a little Chunin exam, there must be no problem. Well, I will try my best, thank you Sister Kushina. Uchiha Kamizuki nodded obediently, then got up and sent Namikaze Minato and Uzumaki Kushina out of his home. After seeing off Namikaze Minato and Uzumaki Kushina, Uchiha Kamizuki returned home. After a brief wash, he began to rest and recharge his batteries for tomorrow's Chunin exam. At this time, it was late at night, and Sarutobi Hiruzen finally finished processing the last official document, and then dragged his slightly tired body back to his bedroom, ready to start the rest of the day. And in the room, Sarutobi Hiruzen's wife, Sarutobi Bawako, saw that third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen had returned, and she quickly greeted third-generation Sarutobi Hiruzen. Then softly asked third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen, "What, are you all done?" Hearing this, Sarutobi Hiruzen just hummed lightly, then dragged his tired body and lay down on his own bed. Seeing that Sarutobi Hiruzen is so tired, Sarutobi Bawako is also a little distressed. Recently, scratches have gradually begun to appear in the ninja world. It is precisely because of this that Sarutobi Hiruzen chose to report a joint Chunin exam at this time. One is to better unite all the forces that can be united, and the other is to show Konoha's current strength, so as to show Konoha's status and deter some Xiao who intend to act recklessly. As Mrs. Hokage, Sarutobi Bawako naturally knew about this, so she was also very concerned about the situation of the Chunin exam this time, so she asked. Hiruzen, regarding tomorrow's Chunin exam, how is your arrangement going? Don't worry, this time I, Konoha village, will definitely surprise the other ninjas in Ninja village. Hearing this, Sarutobi Hiruzen couldn't help showing a smug expression on his face, and said very satisfied. This time, I put the two strongest genin in the village, Uchiha Kamizuki and Hitaki Kakashi, into a group. Combined with the elite of my Sarutobi clan, it is definitely the strongest genin team in Konoha's history. I believe that with their strength, they will definitely be able to shock this time the countries that come to take the Chunin exam, and let them see my younger generation who are thriving in Konoha. That, Sarutobi, I seem to remember that Uchiha Kamizuki and Hitaki Kakashi had a duel not long ago. After hearing Sarutobi Hiruzen's arrangement, Sarutobi Bawako couldn't help saying with a little worry. After all, they are still young at present. If they are arranged together, there may be a lot of friction. How did I forget about this? After hearing Sarutobi Lake Biwa's words, the corners of Sarutobi Hiruzen's eyes could not help but tremble slightly, and he secretly slandered in his heart, saying with uncertainty. These two little guys should know how to put the overall situation first, right? Just about to pinch the center of his eyebrows sadly, but the next moment, Sarutobi Hiruzen quickly regained his composure. After all, he's Hokage, and this kind of mistake can't be shown. Thinking of this, Sarutobi Hiruzen couldn't help showing an inscrutable smile, and said to Sarutobi Lake Biwa beside him. Don't worry, I have deep meaning in this arrangement. Seeing that Sarutobi Bawako still had something to say, Sarutobi Hiruzen hurriedly raised his hand to stop what Sarutobi Bawako was going to say next, and said at the same time. Okay, it's getting late, let's take a rest. Oh well. Hearing this, Sarutobi Bawako couldn't help but nodded, and didn't say anything more. After all, my husband is the most prudent Hokage in the village, how could he not have considered this? I should be thinking too much. Sarutobi Bawako thought so, then turned off the lights and went to sleep. Konoha blooms at the beginning of the 40th year, and it is the time when all things are full of vitality and the Chunin exam officially begins. This time, Konoha Shinobi Village in the Land of Fire will be the host, along with Sand Shinobi Village in the Land of Wind and Rain Shinobi Village in the Land of Rain in the Allies. Headed by these three ninja villages, they jointly organized the first national joint Chunin exam in the entire ninja world history. And positive response this time, the ninja villages that joined the Chunin exam include Tangnan Village, Takanan Village, Craftsman Ninja Village, Grass Ninja Village, etc. There are more than 10 small ninja villages attached to Konoha Shinobi. Most of these small ninja villages are from the small countries around the Kingdom of Fire, they are of different sizes, and the composition of forces is also different. The only thing they have in common is that, like Konoha, they love peace and are a country that clearly opposes war. In addition to these small ninja villages, among the 5 major ninja villages, Cloud Shinobi Village and Iwagakure have been facing each other until the Second Ninja World War. It is precisely because of this that they have no interest in Konoha's joint Chunin exam this time. As for the Mist Shinobi Ninja Village, that's more interesting. As soon as 4th Mizukage Yagura came to power, he began to close the country and frantically trained the ninjas in his ninja village, intending to avenge his shame. At this time, the Mist Shinobi Ninja Village has no intention of taking care of the other major ninja villages. Soon, it was around 8 o'clock in the morning. At this time, the Konoha examination room was already full of people. Elite genin in different costumes from more than a dozen ninja villages, big and small, gathered together. The scene was quite spectacular. Affected by the Second Ninja World War, the ninjas in the major ninja villages are all gathered together in one room at this moment. Now each of them seems to have found their opponents in this life, and they all stare there, as if they are not convinced by anyone. Some of these grumpy brats have even risen from quarreling to the level of taking action in advance. When the situation intensified, the ninjas who were responsible for maintaining the rules of the whole game quickly took action to solve the situation. Otherwise, maybe the first round of this Chunin exam has not yet started, and the second round of the finals will be entered ahead of schedule. However, what is disturbing is that when the little guys below are confronting each other, the leaders of the ninja villages observing the situation on the high platform are still testing each other. Hee. It seems that these little guys seem to be in good spirits. Looking at the conflict below, 3rd Kage from Sand Shinobi Village couldn't help turning his head to look at the opposite 3rd Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen, and then said with a smile. Among the Konoha Shinobi this time, it seems that there are not many genin who took the Chunin exam. According to the logic, Konoha Shinobi Village is the head of the 5 ninja villages in the ninja world. This time, there should be a large number of talents. The village of Sand Shinobi in the Land of the Wind, as a defeated country in the Second Ninja World War, has almost recovered after these years of recuperation, and some want to avenge their shame. Therefore, 3rd Cage will agree to Konoha's request this time, and jointly report and join the Chunin exam with Konoha Shinobi Village, in order to see the current strength of Konoha, the leader of the 5 great ninja villages. Sarutobi Hiruzen, who has always been shrewd, naturally knows these ideas of 3rd Cage. Therefore, Sarutobi Hiruzen chose to use his tricks, and simply took this opportunity to show off the Konoha Shinobi's force. Just as a deterrent, these who were ready to move are trying to challenge other ninja villages who are the first brother of Konoha village. At this time, seeing that 3rd Cage really started to attack, Sarutobi Hiruzen couldn't help but smiled slightly and said, "I naturally have a lot of genin in Konoha, but as the organizer of this joint Chunin exam, I naturally need enough strength to do it. Otherwise, if all the genin level ninjas in my Konoha village are out and all other contestants are eliminated, wouldn't it be my Konoha Shinobi village's self-entertainment? If this is the case, then what is the value of our exchange of reports and joint Chunin examinations this time?" Sarutobi Hiruzen's words seem modest, but they are actually saying that Konoha Shinobi's village is too powerful. If you really follow you, then you have nothing to do. Oh, hearing Sarutobi Hiruzen's words, 3rd Cage couldn't help but twitched his eyes slightly, and immediately said with a little sarcasm, "Since this is the case, then we look forward to the performance of the elite genin of Konoha Shinobi Village." Hearing this, Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't seem to understand the irony in 3rd Cage's words. He still smoked the big cigarette pot in his hand leisurely, and said with a smile, "I also believe that the younger generation of children in my Konoha village will definitely live up to everyone's expectations." Looking at the confident expression of Sarutobi Hiruzen beside him, 3rd Cage couldn't help but sneered secretly in his heart, but he didn't speak any more. For this joint Chunin exam, Sand Shinobi Village has prepared a lot, in order to regain his face in the Second Ninja World War in this Chunin exam. Just as the cage-level powerhouses in the 2 ninja villages used words to confront each other, the first round of the Chunin exam below officially began. At this moment, Hitoki Kakashi, Sarutobi Tonari, and Uchiha Kamizuki also came to the examination room of the Chunin exam. "Kamizuki, Kakashi, this time we are the focus of the entire village, so I hope you can cooperate sincerely and show the momentum of our Konoha Shinobi village's top 5 ninja villages." Sarutobi looked at the 2 people beside him, Hitoki Kakashi and Uchiha Kamizuki. Neither of them took the initiative until now, and couldn't help breaking out in a cold sweat. Sarutobi Sharon also knows about the matter between Hitoki Kakashi and Uchiha Kamizuki, so he can only use the will of fire to influence Uchiha Gadyong and Hitoki Kakashi. "I really don't know why Master Hokage wants to separate these 2 guys together." Sarutobi Tonari smiled wryly in his heart at this moment. Both Hitoki Kakashi and Uchiha Kamizuki are well-known geniuses in Konoha village, and their arrogance is naturally not small. In addition, these 2 people still had a grudge before, and now they are in the same group. Sarutobi Sharon is really afraid that the Chunin exam has not started yet, and these 2 people may start doing it first. "Don't worry, I understand these things naturally." Hitoki Kakashi glanced at Sarutobi Tonari, said something softly, then focused his gaze on Uchiha Kamizuki, and said in a cold voice, "However, the matter between me and this guy has to be settled." Having said that, Hitoki Kakashi paused, looked at Uchiha Kamizuki and said seriously, "Uchiha Kamizuki, I, Hitoki Kakashi, officially challenge you. The winner of the challenge is the name of this Chunin exam." Facing the sudden challenge from Hitoki Kakashi, not only Uchiha Kamizuki, but even Sarutobi was taken aback. "I really didn't expect that Hitoki Kakashi would really compete with Uchiha Kamizuki at this time." Boring. Uchiha Kamizuki couldn't help rolling his eyes when he heard this, and secretly slandered Hitoki Kakashi. Little kid is really a kid, even the future 6th Hokage like Hitoki Kakashi is not exempt. "I just don't know these things," will become the black history that people will reveal after Hitoki Kakashi. These words of Uchiha Kamizuki, Hitoki Kakashi and Sarutobi Tonari are naturally unknown to them. Therefore, looking at Uchiha Kamizuki, who has strange eyes and has been silent all the time. I feel that Uchiha Kamizuki is a bit too stinky. Hatake Kakashi, in particular, became even more annoyed. He challenged Uchiha Kamizuki so formally, and Uchiha Kamizuki dared to ignore him. Uchiha Kamizuki, don't think that if you beat me this time, you will always beat me in the future. Hatake Kakashi looked at Uchiha Kamizuki, dared to ignore his challenge, didn't give himself any face, suddenly looked unhappy, and said a little angrily. Uchiha Kamizuki, you dare not accept my challenge, is it because you are afraid that you will lose to me this time? Hearing this, Uchiha Kamizuki couldn't help but shook his head slightly, and then softly said to Hatake Kakashi, who was looking eager to try. Hey, student Hatake Kakashi, you didn't hear, just now Sarutobi Tonari said that our main task this time is to show our Konoha village as the organizer of this joint Chunin exam. Having said that, Uchiha Kamizuki couldn't help but pause slightly, and after glancing at the change of expression on Hatake Kakashi's face opposite him, he continued to speak softly. During such an important mission, we still have to solve personal problems. Isn't it too out of context? Hearing this, Sarutobi Tonari couldn't help but feel that Uchiha Kamizuki was right. Sarutobi Tonari also did not expect that Uchiha Kamizuki unexpectedly put the overall situation first. In contrast, his mother Kakashi seemed a bit petty. Really, I said that the outcome of our competition this time is our ranking in this Chunin exam. In this way, not only will it not affect the task of the joint Chunin exam this time, but it will also allow us to motivate each other. What's wrong with that? Having said that, Hatake Kakashi couldn't help but pause, looked at Uchiha Kamizuki and gave a standard dead fish eye, and then continued to speak. Uchiha Kamizuki, you talk so much nonsense, do you dare or not? Facing the aggressive Hatake Kakashi, Uchiha Kamizuki couldn't help but rolled his eyes helplessly, and then continued to speak. Student Hatake Kakashi, please think about it carefully. Since Master 3rd Hokage arranged this joint Chunin exam to be graded in a team mode, how could he give us the opportunity to compete with each other in the team? If you insist on despising me, then fine, I'll just admit defeat. Uchiha Kamizuki crossed his arms, showed a helpless expression, and continued casually. Now, you are Konoha village again, the first genius of the younger generation, congratulations, congratulations. You. Seeing this scene, the corners of Hatake Kakashi's eyes twitched slightly, obviously because he was very angry with Uchiha Kamizuki. Alright, Sarutobi saw that the anger between Uchiha Kamizuki and Hatake Kakashi was getting bigger and bigger, so he quickly stepped between the two of them and said. Okay, what Hatake Kakashi and Uchiha Kamizuki said makes sense. We should really focus on the task. As for the discussion between the two of you, how can we solve it after this joint Chunin exam? Snort. Hatake Kakashi saw that Sarutobi Tonari was obviously on Uchiha Kamizuki's side at this moment, and immediately knew that it would be useless to talk too much. So, Hatake Kakashi stopped talking and turned his back directly, ignoring Uchiha Kamizuki and Sarutobi Tonari. Kamizuki, thank you for putting the big picture first this time. Seeing that Hatake Kakashi had stopped, Sarutobi turned around, looked at Uchiha Kamizuki and sincerely thanked him. Fine. Upon hearing this, Uchiha Kamizuki just responded to Sarutobi Tonari lightly, and didn't say anything more. Just after the problems of Uchiha Kamizuki and Hatake Kakashi were solved, there were a few more veteran ninjas who appeared on the Chunin examination room with the instant technique. Okay, please be quiet. A Konoha shinobi with a strong figure and a large scar in the corner of his eye appeared directly, unleashing the powerful murderous aura he had cultivated after many years of killing, and immediately roared loudly at the candidates present. Everyone enters the examination room immediately. The first part of the Chunin examination will start immediately. Latecomers and those who make loud noises will be disqualified from the examination. Stimulated by the murderous aura of this Jonin ninja in Konoha village, all the candidates present immediately quieted down, and became a lot more honest. Afterwards, all the genins were shuffled in order and arranged into the examination room one by one. After all the genins were seated, several examiners appeared and distributed a test paper to the genins. After seeing that the test coupons were distributed, the Jonin ninja in Konoha village, who was also famous before, spoke again. The first Chunin exam is a written exam. Let me tell you about the rules of this competition. Now, listen carefully to me. First of all, I want to declare that I will not repeat the test rules twice. At the same time, when I am explaining the test rules, no one is allowed to ask questions. Otherwise, it will be regarded as a violation of the discipline of the examination room, and the team's examination qualifications will be cancelled. Having said that, the tough Jonin couldn't help but pause, and after glancing at all the examinees in the room, he opened his mouth and shouted. Now, tell me, do you all understand? Hearing this remark, none of the examinees answered aloud. Seeing this scene, the Jonin invigilator nodded and said with satisfaction. It seems that you all have a thorough understanding of the rules I just mentioned, and there are no guys with brain problems. Yes, I'm starting to like you a little bit now. After briefly saying a few rules, the leading Jonin in Konoha village immediately asked in a cold voice. Now, tell me, do you all understand? Hearing this, among the candidates present, no one answered this Jonin in Konoha village. Seeing this scene, the Jonin proctor in Konoha village nodded, and then said in a satisfied voice. It seems that you all have a thorough understanding of the rules I just described, and there are no guys with brain problems. Yes, I'm starting to like you a little bit now. Okay, let's get down to business now. This time, the written test lasts for 1 hour. You need to answer 10 test questions in total. One test question is 10 points. A total of 100 points is the passing mark. However, this time the exam is judged by the total score of the 3-person group. Therefore, if you want to pass all of them, you must get 180 points. If anyone in the group can't reach 60 points, or the total score can't reach 180 points, then all points will be eliminated. Speaking of this, the Jonin in Konoha village couldn't help laughing a little maliciously, and then said. Hee. Next, in order not to drag your teammates down, let's do our best to play hard. Oh, by the way, I almost forgot to remind you that in this exam, if anyone is found to be cheating, or has been judged to be cheating, the entire group will be directly disqualified from the exam. After a pause, the Jonin proctor in Konoha village looked at some dissatisfied genin candidates in front of him and said with a smile. Of course, if someone feels that their strength can cheat under the noses of us invigilators without being discovered by us, that's okay, and they can pass. However, if we find out, then the eligibility to be promoted to Chunin will be permanently disqualified, and everyone in the whole group will be genin for the rest of their lives. Okay, these are the rules of the written test this time. I believe everyone understands it. So, now, I announce that the first written test of the Chunin exam will start now. As soon as Jonin's invigilator's voice fell, several examiners in charge of the invigilation immediately distributed the examination papers to everyone one by one. After waiting for the test paper to arrive in Uchiha Kamizuki's hands, Uchiha Kamizuki couldn't help but glanced at it curiously to see what the test was about. After seeing this, Uchiha Kamizuki immediately gasped. On top of the test paper, the knowledge involved in the entire test question is fully at the level of the 2nd and 3rd grades of junior high school. Although, for a person like Uchiha Kamizuki who was at a college level in his previous life, such an exam question is really difficult to say. However, you must know that this is the world of Hokage ninjas. In addition to the knowledge of ninjutsu, the popularity of other mathematical, physical and chemical knowledge of the people here is really not much better than that of the illiterate. According to Uchiha Kamizuki's guess on the cultural level of Sarutobi Hiruzen in the original book, the basic cultural level of the people in the entire Hokage ninja world is basically the level that has not graduated from elementary school. After all, ninjas have already spent most of their time on learning and applying ninjutsu, and naturally they will lose a lot of knowledge in other aspects. Of course, there are some people with high IQ and high education, but among the genin candidates present here, 1 out of 10 has an education level that can reach elementary school graduation. What the hell, AJDD, if Uzumaki Naruto and the others were taking the exam, if the exam was also about this level of questions, then the little Sakura could answer more than half of the questions correctly, then her cultural skills are obviously not bad. After confirming that he knew all these topics, Uchiha Kamizuki began to think about it, thinking to himself. It's normal for me to know these questions, but I'm afraid the others present are not good enough. From this point of view, there should be 2 ways to pass this written test. First, of course, relying on real talents and real learning, just write the correct answer directly. As for the second method, it's natural to cheat. The test points of this method should be divided into several points. First, how to quickly find a ninja who can find the correct answer to the question. The second test point should be how to get the correct answer under the nose of the invigilator without being discovered by these invigilator ninjas. As for the third test site, it is mainly to test how the test takers can complete the sharing and transmission of information without being discovered by the invigilator. That is to say, the main purpose of making the exam questions so difficult this time is to test the intelligence gathering and grasping abilities of the genin candidates present. Thinking of this, Uchiha Kamizuki couldn't help but move slightly, wanting to observe who has the best written test ability in the field. Although, with Uchiha Kamizuki's level of education, it is not difficult to answer these questions, but this time the combined Chunin exam focuses on the ability of intelligence. Of course, Uchiha Kamizuki will not be so stupid that he slowly answered all the questions by himself. Just kidding, don't cheat in the exam, and you will be a junior in the next year. It's such a simple truth. If Uchiha Kamizuki doesn't understand it, he would be too stupid. Looks like it's time to show off some tricks. After a general glance at the scene, Uchiha Kamizuki couldn't help showing a smile. Hee, it looks like it's time to show off some tricks. After taking a general look at the situation on the scene, Uchiha Kamizuki couldn't help showing a smile on the corner of his mouth, and then secretly formed a seal. Water-style water shield technique. Uchiha Kamizuki tried his best to suppress chakra's power fluctuations and performed water-style ninjutsu. The next moment, a small water shield quietly appeared on the ceiling of the examination room. Then, Uchiha Kamizuki condensed another group of water stains, which appeared on Uchiha Kamizuki's examination table, and then Uchiha Kamizuki used the refraction of light to observe the situation on the entire examination room. First, Uchiha Kamizuki approached Hokage Kakashi and discovered that this guy actually answered the questions by himself. Moreover, after some observation, Uchiha Kamizuki also found that this guy Hokage Kakashi actually writes quite seriously, and the correct rate is also, which should be able to get a 60%. Well, I didn't expect that Hokage Kakashi has a lot of extracurricular knowledge. It seems that passing the written test this time should not be a problem. With this in mind, Uchiha Kamizuki focused his attention on Sarutobi Tonari, and found that this kid was looking at the exam paper in front of him, scratching his head anxiously, not knowing what to do. After all, the requirement for passing the test this time is that the team's total score is 180 points, and everyone is asked not to score. In this case, even if Uchiha Kamizuki and Hokage Kakashi have full marks and the total score of the group reaches 200 points, they will still be eliminated because they did not reach the passing mark. Thinking of this disgusting rule, Sarutobi Sharon couldn't help but feel a little overwhelmed. Now he also started to hate Sarutobi Hiruzen, the patriarch and Hokage-sama. What kind of bad idea did he come up with, and he insisted on setting up such a team score. Originally, with the strength of Uchiha Kamizuki and Hokage Kakashi, they could completely crush most of the candidates in this exam. However, he just wanted to add Sarutobi Tonari, and if one of them fails right now, all of them will be eliminated. At that time, his Sarutobi Tonarin's reputation will be stinking all over Konoha. No, that's not right. It's smelly all Konoha, San Shinobi Village, and more than a dozen other small ninja villages. How can a genin-level ninja like him take on such a big exposure rate? It seems that this Sarutobi can't do it anymore. Seeing Sarutobi Tonari scratching his head and ears, Uchiha Kamizuki knew that the most troublesome thing was coming, and he couldn't help but feel a little headache. He himself could cheat and get the correct answer, but this Sarutobi is naturally impossible. How can this Sarutobi pass the test? Uchiha Kamizuki narrowed his eyes slightly, and fell into deep thought. After thinking for a while, Kamizuki suddenly showed a smile at the corner of his mouth. Yes, let's do it. The next moment, with a thought, Yi Ling directly entered the system space, and started recruiting without saying a word. Soon, Uchiha Kamizuki got a brand new character card, Yamanaka Ino. With the Yamanaka Ino character card, Uchiha Kamizuki has the ability to cast the secret technique of the Yamanaka clan heart-to-heart technique. After replacing the character card of Yamanaka Ino, Uchiha Kamizuki formed seals immediately and cast the Yamanaka family's mysterious magic. Secret perception transmission technique. In the next moment, the spiritual projection of Uchiha Kamizuki appeared in the spiritual world of Sarutobi Tonari. Sharon, it's me. Uchiha Kamizuki ignored Sarutobi's shock and said directly. You will block the mirror of your ninja forehead protector on your desktop in a while, and I will project the correct answers to these exam questions for you. Remember, don't let the invigilator find out about your anomalies. Quote. As soon as he heard Uchiha Kamizuki's voice, Sarutobi was also shocked. He didn't know that Uchiha Kamizuki actually had this kind of ability. He could actually do other ninjutsu in the spiritual department, and he could get the correct answer to him without telling him. Just when Sarutobi Sharon was about to ask what happened to Uchiha Kamizuki, he found that the spiritual connection between Uchiha Kamizuki and him had been severed. In this way, the doubts in Sarutobi Sharon's heart can only be held back for the time being. Sarutobi then followed Uchiha Kamizuki's request and aimed the smooth side of his ninja forehead protector at the ceiling above. On the other side, after Uchiha Kamizuki withdrew his spiritual extension, he began to use the water-style technique to observe the people present who answered the questions most seriously, until no one looked around. Under normal circumstances, people like this appearing in the examination room are guys with real talents. You are the one. After some observation, Uchiha Kamizuki soon found a purple-haired girl from the craftsman ninja village who answered the questions very seriously. Immediately, Uchiha Kamizuki moved the water mirror on the ceiling to the girls on the test paper. After a simple check, Uchiha Kamizuki found that the purple-haired girl's answers were basically correct. If you write according to this answer, 60 points is absolutely no problem. After confirming that there was no problem, Uchiha Kamizuki manipulated the water mirror and projected the correct answer onto Sarutobi Tonari's ninja forehead protector. After seeing the answer, Sarutobi quickly copied it without saying a word. Okay, the time is up, this time the written test is over. Just after Uchiha Kamizuki and Sarutobi Tonari finished solving the exam questions, the Jonin ninja in Konoha village who had been invigilating the exam suddenly shouted. Now, everyone stop writing immediately. As soon as the invigilator Jonin's voice fell, many genin candidates turned pale and began to discuss unwillingly. It's over, I haven't finished writing yet. It's over, this time is too embarrassing. It's all because the exam questions this time are too difficult. I didn't even pass the first pass of the Chunin exam, and I lost the face of our village. HMPH, shut up all of them. Hearing the discussion below, the aggressive Jonin in the lead shouted angrily, saying, immediately check everyone's test papers, and all those who fail to pass the test leave the test room immediately. As soon as the Jonin invigilator finished speaking, several Chunin teachers came out to check the examination papers of all the genin candidates. Soon, a group of proctors, Mr. Chunin, took all the genin candidates who did not reach the passing score away from the examination room. After all the unqualified students left the examination room, a smile appeared on the face of the leading examiner Jonin, and said, now, I officially announce to everyone here that you have passed the first joint Chunin exam and have the qualifications to enter the second exam. Very good. We're finally through. I knew we could get through. After the results of the Jonin Invigilator were announced, a group of genin who passed the test were immediately excited and whispered to each other. Hehe, it seems that many people think that they are very good at cheating, and feel that they have not been discovered by us. When all the genin candidates were excited, the Jonin Invigilator on the podium couldn't help but turn cold, and said with a sneer, let me name the cheaters who were discovered this time. After finishing speaking, the Jonin Invigilator immediately began to roll his name, pointing out some genins who cheated before and their cheating methods. The genins who were named suddenly turned pale, and the current excitement disappeared. Before, when the exam started, it was explained that anyone who cheats, and those who are considered cheaters, will be disqualified from the exam of the team they belong to, and can only be genin forever. Therefore, when they heard that they were pointed out, these genins became frightened. Fortunately without us, Sarutobi was nervous until the end, afraid that he and Uchiha Kamizuki would be named. Fortunately, until the end, there was no Jonin Invigilator in charge of the exam, and Uchiha Kamizuki's name was called, which made Sarutobi feel relieved and admired Uchiha even more. Being able to cheat in the exam under the nose of Jonin's invigilator without being discovered by the invigilator is definitely beyond the reach of ordinary Chunin. Kamizuki really deserves to be my first genius in Konoha village. After the thrilling waiting just now, I started to admire Uchiha Kamizuki. In the joy of Sarutobi and the fear of the ninjas who were named, Jonin Invigilator continued to speak. The reason why you are singled out is to remind you so that you will not be so rampant that you will die on the battlefield because of your arrogance in the future. Secondly, I want you to know that our seniors are not trash, and your little tricks can't fool us. After hearing these words from the Invigilator, many genins were overjoyed. Because the Invigilator actually revoked their exam qualifications, this is a surprise. Didn't you say before that cheating in the exam will result in disqualification? A genin from the little ninja village who passed the level without cheating and relied on his real strength said with some dissatisfaction. Hee, it seems that there are still some people here who don't understand the real purpose of this exam. Jonin the Invigilator heard the words, just smiled lightly, and then continued to explain. The reason why this written test has difficult questions and strict rules is to make you cheat. Cheating is actually a test of your intelligence gathering ability. Therefore, there are only 3 kinds of people who will be eliminated in this written test. The first type is those who cannot collect accurate information. The second type is those who do not have the ability to collect information. The third type is those who dare not collect information. After the Jonin Invigilator finished speaking, the genin candidates present immediately started talking again. It turned out to be like this. It's really disgusting to play like this. What the hell, fortunately, I was lucky enough to collect information. Chunin is different from genin. On the battlefield, genin only needs to obey orders, but Chunin must have the ability to collect intelligence and analyze situations. So, if you don't even have this basic ability, what qualifications do you have to be a Chunin? Speaking of this Jonin proctor was very contemptuous. Those genins who were eliminated before said, for a real ninja, a piece of valuable information is more important than life in many cases. After all, when performing missions, ninjas often need to risk their lives to obtain valuable information. Therefore, the information you obtain must be accurate enough, otherwise, once the information is wrong, your companions and the village will be put in danger. That's why, in the first round of this joint Chunin exam, this written exam will be used to test your intelligence gathering capabilities. After understanding the true meaning of this written test, good money is good, all the genin candidates couldn't help but looked at each other and fell silent. Looking at the silent genins, the Jonin proctor didn't speak any more, but ordered the remaining 30 genin teams on the scene to be registered one by one, and then took them out of your examination room to eat. Just after Jonin's Invigilator left, a female ninja wearing a see-through suit walked in through the door. This female ninja glanced at the remaining genin ninjas in the examination room, and said with a sinister smile. I didn't expect that there are quite a lot of people left. But it doesn't matter, when it comes to my match, there will be only a few of you left. Listen up, everyone, the third session of the Chunin exam begins now. Having said that, the female ninja straightened her face and said to the confused genin candidates. Next, I will talk about the rules of the second round of Urin's exam. First of all, the location of the second Chunin exam is the Death Forest in the back mountain of Konoha. Furthermore, after the second Chunin exam begins, I will give each of you a scroll. However, there are 3 conditions to take part in the third Chunin exam. First, in the same team, it is necessary to ensure that everyone has a pair of scrolls. Second, in the third round of Chunin this time, only the top 10 teams that arrive at the second exam room first will be able to conduct the third Chunin exam. Third, before the test time is over, all the teams that arrive at the second test venue must have a duel until the test time is over. After the female examiner's voice fell, all the genin candidates present couldn't help but change their expressions wildly, and they roared angrily. F*K, this is too cruel. That's right, this is forcing us to kill each other. I protest. Seconded. When all the genin candidates were roaring, the female Jonin examiner's expression turned ferocious, and a cold murderous aura rushed towards the genin candidates like a tide. Sen Lang's murderous aura swept over, like the cold winter wind, immediately silenced all the genin candidates, and the voice of protest disappeared immediately. I'm afraid I'll be like this bear after this little test. Why should I be a chunin? Which one is not the real chunin, a ninja who can stand on his own? For trash like you, let's be your genin honestly, Ajay, and be a good baby for the rest of your life behind the teacher who leads the team. In view of your useless behavior, I will make another rule for the chunin exam this time. If you don't want to continue taking part, you can get out now. After the female jonin finished speaking, she folded her arms and looked at the genin candidates present with disdain, and said with a disdainful smile, I'll only give you 1 minute. For those who haven't left after 1 minute, I will take it as the default choice to stay. Don't blame me for not reminding you. Once you choose to take the next exam, life or death will be yours. Soon, a minute passed without anyone opting out. Very good, I didn't expect that there are no trash among you. Seeing that no one chose to quit, the female jonin invigilator couldn't help but sneered, and then continued. Since that's the case, all of you must go to the entrance of Konoha Back Mountain to gather now, and when you get there, someone will naturally distribute your scrolls to you and organize you to enter the examination room. As soon as the voice fell, the female jonin invigilator immediately disappeared from the sight of the genin candidates in a blink of an eye. After seeing the female jonin invigilator leave, Hotake Kakashi was the first to come out and walked out of the examination room. Kakashi, you should wait for us. Yuan Fei met Kaxi, walked out without saying a word, couldn't help but smiled wryly, and secretly slandered that the team battle this time was really too difficult. Kamizuki, let's go too. Seeing Hotake Kakashi, who couldn't help but look cold, Sarutobi could only look at Uchiha Kamizuki with embarrassment, and said helplessly, All right. Uchiha Kamizuki didn't feel much about Hotake Kakashi's performance, so he went after Hotake Kakashi with Sarutobi Tonari very understandingly. It's a good thing Kamizuki isn't like that guy Kakashi. Sarutobi was relieved to see that Uchiha Kamizuki was gone, just like Hotake Kakashi. He is really afraid that Uchiha Kamizuki is the same as Hotake Kakashi, and it will be uncomfortable for him to be caught in the middle by Nayuko. However, fortunately, Uchiha Kamizuki did not have the arrogance of Hotake Kakashi, and he was more talkative than he expected, which made Sarutobi feel a lot easier. After seeing Hotake Kakashi and Uchiha Kamizuki leaving, the other genin candidates present did not hesitate too much, and followed behind Uchiha Kamizuki and others to the second examination room in the back mountain of Konoha village. Not long after, a group of old genin students came to the entrance of the Death Forest in the back mountain of Konoha village, and got the token for participating in the second round of the Chunin exam. Then, 30 groups of genin candidates were divided into 6 entrances and entered the Death Forest one after another. At this point, the second exam of the Chunin exam officially begins. Looking at the empty examination room, the female jonin invigilator before, with a pretty face, could not help but reveal a strong sense of evil, and said to a proctor ninja beside her, You can put those things out. Yes. Hearing this, the invigilator ninja saluted the female jonin immediately, and then left with the blinking technique. In the Death Forest, Uchiha Kamizuki, Hotake Kakashi, and Sarutobi Tonari are advancing towards the final center of the Death Forest in accordance with the requirements of the examination rules. According to the requirements of the exam rules this time, we must snatch 3 scrolls from other groups before we can enter the end of the second exam and become the top 10 groups that arrive at the exam site. It's a pass. While prancing on the tree, Sarutobi continued to analyze the exam rules. The reason why Sarutobi Tonari wants to do this is mainly to test the next action arrangement of Hotake Kakashi and Uchiha Kamizuki, so that everyone will not go their own way at that time. After all, this time the exam is calculated in groups. Stupid. Since everyone's final destination is the same, why should we find someone to grab some scroll? Regarding Sarutobi Tonari's statement, Hotake Kakashi obviously disdainfully said, This time we need to pay attention to only 2 aspects, one is the candidates who are also taking the Chunin exam, and the other is the danger in the entire forest of death. Uchiha Kamizuki followed Hotake Kakashi and Sarutobi Tonari. Listening to their discussion, Uchiha Kamizuki couldn't help but nodded secretly, thinking, Hotake Kakashi deserves to be Hotake Kakashi. He understands the nature of the whole exam better than Sarutobi. When Uchiha Kamizuki secretly commented on Sarutobi Tonari and Hatake Kakashi, the two of them, Sarutobi Tonari suddenly turned his attention to Uchiha Kamizuki and asked, "Kamizuki, what do you think?" Hearing this, Uchiha Kamizuki thought for a while before saying, "Kakashi is right. Due to the restrictions of the exam rules, even if we don't take the initiative to find other people, the other genin candidates will take the initiative to come to us. Furthermore, judging from the difficulty of the previous exam, the reason why the exam venue was chosen in the Death Forest this time is probably that various traps will be set up on our way forward, and this will test our response to emergencies capacity of the situation. Therefore, Kakashi is right. The best way for us now is to go to the end of this exam first." As soon as he heard Uchiha Kamizuki echoing his plan, the corners of Hatake Kakashi's mouth under the mask couldn't help but twitched, and he said provocatively, "Uchiha Kamizuki, is that all you can say, what I said?" Hearing Hatake Kakashi's provocation, Uchiha Kamizuki was not angry. Seeing that Uchiha Kamizuki ignored his provocation, Hatake Kakashi couldn't help feeling like he had been accumulating energy for a long time, but finally punched the air with his fist, and felt very depressed. "What's wrong with me?" Hatake Kakashi looked at the same, and Uchiha Kamizuki, who didn't respond, couldn't help frowning slightly, and secretly slandered. Hatake Kakashi was not a provocative person, but when he saw Uchiha Kamizuki, he always showed a calm look, and he was upset for a while. It is precisely because of this mentality that Hatake Kakashi couldn't help but want to provoke Uchiha Kamizuki and make him look a little ugly. But Uchiha Kamizuki didn't know that Hatake Kakashi had complicated emotions in his heart. After thinking about it for a while, he said, "The main test of this exam should be our judgment ability and field combat ability. This is why the exam stipulates that we must have a duel before the end of the exam time. Therefore, the so-called top 10 is not at all. We really need to assign a priority, but the 10 teams that will be in the examination room at the end. So, after we reach the finish line, we just need to wait quietly. When the exam time is about to end, we can directly enter the exam room and snatch the scrolls and positions of a group of teams." After listening to Uchiha Kamizuki's analysis, Sarutobi Tonari couldn't help but brighten his eyes, and said with a little excitement, "Kamizuki, your method is good. With the strength of you and Kakashi, among the genin candidates this time, you are definitely one of the strongest. It couldn't be easier to grab the pass." Uchiha Kamizuki didn't feel happy about Sarutobi's flattery, instead he frowned and said, "Don't think about things too simply, this time the joint Chunin exam, but there are ninjas from San Shinobi Village, one of the 5 great ninja villages, participating in the battle. Based on the relationship between San Shinobi Ninja Village and us, I am afraid that this time San Shinobi Village will take this opportunity to regain the place it was in during the Second Ninja World War, so we must not take it lightly." As soon as Uchiha Kamizuki's voice fell, Hatake Kakashi on the side snorted coldly, and once again provocatively said to Uchiha Kamizuki, "HMPH, Uchiha Kamizuki, are you afraid of those guys from San Shinobi Village? If that's the case, wouldn't it be better for you to just admit defeat? As the saying goes, clay figurines still have 3 parts of earthy nature." Faced with Hatake Kakashi's repeated provocations, Uchiha Kamizuki couldn't help feeling a little angry. Immediately, he heard Uchiha Kamizuki say, "Should I admit defeat to San Shinobi? That's fine. Anyway, this time the Chunin exam is based on the team's total score. After I surrender, our entire team will also surrender." Having said that, Uchiha Kamizuki looked at Hatake Kakashi's slightly ugly face, and continued to smile. "Anyway, there's nothing left. When the time comes, the 3 of us will go back together and be genin for another year." Asshole. Hearing this, Hatake Kakashi couldn't help shaking his eyes, and cursed fiercely in his heart. It's all this team mode. In the dead forest of Kanahaho Mountain, there are row upon row of towering ancient trees of unknown species. As long as you look around, there is a lush green area, and even the place where you can see is green, and you can't see the end at all. Uchiha Kamizuki and others are jumping forward on the branches of giant trees at the moment. For a moment, it even made Uchiha Kamizuki and others feel like they came to the kingdom of giants. Some people always wonder why ninjas always like to jump on the big branches one after another when they are on their way. That's because such an action can better avoid leaving footprints on the ground, allowing the enemy to perceive the trajectory of their movement and thus fall into an unfavorable predicament. However, in fact, it is not necessarily very safe to act on trees, because there are many dangerous things among these tall ancient trees, such as the current situation. Be careful, there is a situation. Uchiha Kamizuki shouted suddenly, reminding Hatake Kakashi ahead. Because, Uchiha Kamizuki saw on the trunk of the big tree in front of him, there was a huge python that was almost the same color as the trunk. At this moment, Hatake Kakashi marched just below its entrenchment. What? Hatake Kakashi was stunned by Uchiha Kamizuki's sudden shout, and then looked at Uchiha Kamizuki and Sarutobi Tonari with a pair of blank eyes. The next moment, a huge brown snake head jumped out of the dense tree like lightning, and swallowed Hatake Kakashi, who was stunned in place in one gulp. Kakashi. Seeing this scene, Sarutobi Sharon couldn't help his eyes tearing apart, and immediately formed a seal. Fire style impatience fire technique. A series of fireballs suddenly spewed out continuously from Sarutobi Sharon's mouth, and landed on the body of the giant snake in the distance along a graceful arc. Hiss. After being bombarded by Sarutobi's fire-style ninjutsu, the giant snake suddenly let out a painful howl. Giant snakes are rough-skinned and thick-skinned, and this one is the best among them. The smooth and hard scales are like dense shields. Coupled with its huge size, it not only blocks the explosion of the fireball, but also isolates the high-temperature damage. Stimulated by the severe pain, the giant snake's golden vertical pupils suddenly turned red. The next moment, a thick tail lashed towards Sarutobi Tonari and Uchiha Kamizuki. Back. Seeing this scene, Uchiha Kamizuki gave a cold shout, grabbed Sarutobi Tonari and jumped towards the trunk of a nearby tree. Boom! The huge snake tail ruthlessly swept over the tree, directly smashing the trunk of the big tree. Uchiha Kamizuki jumped lightly onto another giant tree. Although his attention was still on the wild boar, his attention was always on the surroundings. The Chunin exam this time is really not easy. With the strength of this giant snake alone, ordinary genin level candidates can't handle it. With this in mind, Uchiha Kamizuki naturally didn't intend to fight the giant snake. However, although Uchiha Kamizuki didn't mean to fight that giant snake desperately. However, Sarutobi Tonari next to him had red eyes, his hands quickly formed mudras, and he was about to start performing ninjutsu again. Seeing this, Uchiha Kamizuki rushed to the house and said, "Okay, Sharon, what are you doing? Kamizuki, don't stop me, I want to avenge Kakashi." Seeing that Uchiha Kamizuki stopped him, Sarutobi couldn't help being furious, and shouted at Uchiha Kamizuki with a blushing face. "Kamizuki, let's fight together and kill the murderer of Kakashi." Hearing this, Uchiha Kamizuki couldn't help stroking his forehead with some headaches, and then said to Sarutobi Tonari, "Don't be stupid, just now Hatake Kakashi has already escaped the attack of the giant snake by using the body replacement technique. You don't even think about it, Hatake Kakashi was the first genius in Konoha village, how could he be killed by 10 snakes?" Well, after listening to Uchiha Kamizuki's words, Sarutobi Tonari couldn't help being stunned, and immediately looked at Uchiha Kamizuki excitedly, saying, "Is Kakashi really all right?" Seeing this scene, Uchiha Kamizuki was too lazy to answer, because the next moment, Hatake Kakashi's figure appeared directly from the top of the giant snake, and a sharp short sword was suddenly unsheathed. Hatake's sword technique, flash. A gorgeous knife light suddenly appeared in front of everyone's eyes, like a white lightning, it directly penetrated the snake's head. The giant snake was strong enough to resist before, and the strong defense of Sarutobi Sharon Fengxianwo technique was actually easily cut by Hatake Kakashi. It seems that Hatake Kakashi's sword skills have increased a lot. Uchiha Kamizuki looked at Hatake Kakashi with long silver hair and fluttering flamboyantly, and couldn't help but feel that this guy is really good enough. Before, he was actually possessed by a playwright, and he directed and acted an embarrassing scene in which the dead were brought back to life, which brought Sarutobi to tears. It's really a showy operation. Uchiha Kamizuki looked at Hatake Kakashi with a flirtatious expression, the corners of his eyes twitched non-stop, and he secretly slandered. "You have such virtues at such a young age, I really lack education." Just when Uchiha Kamizuki was sighing, Hatake Kakashi on the other side had already eliminated the giant snake. Seeing this scene, Sarutobi Shirin couldn't help giving a thumbs up to Hatake Kakashi, and praised very cooperatively. As expected of the genius ninja Hatake Kakashi, such strength, really amazing. What Sarutobi Shirin said is really true. After all, this giant snake has taken him forcibly before with a fire-style ninjutsu. As a result, when this guy met Hatake Kakashi, he didn't survive 2 rounds, and the gap between the two sides can be seen at a glance. Hee. When Hatake Kakashi heard this, the corners of his mouth under the mask could not help but slightly curved, and then he cast a provocative look at Uchiha Kamizuki, who was still calm. Okay, don't waste any more time, let's go to the finish line and talk. Uchiha Kamizuki again ignored Hatake Kakashi's provocation and continued speaking instead. Ah, yes. Sarutobi Shirin also came back to his senses and quickly nodded in agreement. He almost forgot that they are still taking the Chunin exam right now. Seeing Uchiha Kamizuki ignoring him again, Hatake Kakashi couldn't help but snorted coldly, then he flashed his figure and walked towards the depths of the Death Forest first. Kakashi. Seeing that Hatake Kakashi rushed out first, Sarutobi could not help but exclaimed, then smiled helplessly at Uchiha Kamizuki and said, "Then let's go too." Uchiha Kamizuki didn't say much, just responded lightly, and together with Sarutobi Tonari, they chased after Hatake Kakashi in the direction where Hatake Kakashi disappeared. Hatake Kakashi knew how to measure and didn't really start to rush, so Uchiha Kamizuki and Sarutobi Tonari did not take long to catch up to Hatake Kakashi in front of him. Then Uchiha Kamizuki and the 3 of them continued to go all the way to the end of the exam. I don't know what's going on, but Uchiha Kamizuki and the others didn't encounter any danger on the next long road, and it went smoothly unexpectedly. This situation lasted until the 3 of Uchiha Kamizuki and the others were about to come to the end of this exam, when there was no change. Because, the 3 of them, Uchiha Kamizuki, discovered 3 corpses, and these 3 corpses were also ninjas who participated in the Chunin exam in Konoha village. Who did this? Sarutobi Shirin looked at the 3 corpses in front of him. His face was so gloomy that he was about to drip water, and then he said through gritted teeth. It's just too much. It's fine to take the scroll, but to kill people, it's just a test, so why do you do it so badly? Uchiha Kamizuki and Hatake Kakashi did not speak, but they were examining the 3 corpses. This attack method should be wind style. Hatake Kakashi stood up first after inspecting the 3 corpses, and said in a deep voice. Although there are many people who can use wind-style ninjutsu, it seems that only the ninjas of Sand Shinobi Village have a reason to treat the ninjas in our Konoha Village in such a cruel way. Sand Shinobi Village was defeated by Konoha Village during the Second Ninja World War, and became the first defeated village among the 5 major countries, and the enmity between the village and Konoha Village was the greatest. Furthermore, among the dozens of villages participating in the joint Chunin exam this time, only Sand Shinobi Village and Konoha Village are one of the 5 major ninja villages. Even if they competed with the ninjas in Konoha Village for the scroll, they would not dare to kill after winning. Even if the ninjas in Konoha Village resisted strongly, they would just change their target at most. Of course, it is not ruled out that some bold and reckless guys will do something to kill people, but the chances of that are really too small. Therefore, the 3 ninjas in Konoha Village were most likely killed by people from Sand Shinobi Village. Uchiha Kamizuki and the 3 of them knew these things, so when Hatake Kakashi said this, Uchiha Kamizuki and Sarutobi did not object to the 2 of them. Sand Shinobi. Sarutobi Shirin squeezed his fists fiercely, and said with a fierce face. This time we are robbing the scroll. We will specifically rob the ninjas in Sand Shinobi Village, or simply eliminate some ninjas in Sand Shinobi Village, and let them know the consequences of killing the ninjas in my Konoha Village. Good. Definitely should teach the Sand Shinobi Village guys a lesson. Hearing this, Hatake Kakashi nodded in agreement, and then said with a sneer. After we reach the finish line, we will immediately eliminate all the guys from Sand Shinobi Village present. If you dare to kill my Konoha Village ninjas, you will have to pay the price. Seeing that Hatake Kakashi and Sarutobi Tonari were united in a rare way at this moment, Uchiha Kamizuki couldn't help but nodded. This is the bond between the ninjas in Ninja Village. Once there is an invasion from outside, they will always die in the shortest time. They will give up their personal grievances and unite to fight against those foreign enemies. Just when Hatake Kakashi and Sarutobi were ready to take action, Uchiha Kamizuki suddenly said, "Wait a minute, I still have something to say." "What's wrong, Kamizuki?" Sarutobi Tonari, who was talking, was suddenly interrupted by Uchiha Kamizuki, and Sarutobi Tonari couldn't help asking softly. "Look, the scars on the bodies of these three ninjas, although they were caused by wind style, are very simple and not messy at all." Speaking of this, Uchiha Kamizuki couldn't help but pause, and after seeing the reactions of Hatake Kakashi and Sarutobi Tonari, he continued. "This kind of wound is not like the injury of wind-style ninjutsu, but, like." As a result, before Uchiha Kamizuki finished speaking, Hatake Kakashi interrupted Uchiha Kamizuki's going to go, saying, "This kind of wound should be similar to the damage caused by ninjutsu, and there are not many signs of struggle. That is to say, in the opponent's team, there is a master who is good at wind attribute ninjutsu. Moreover, the opponent's speed was so fast that the three of them had no time to dodge and were killed here." After saying this, Hatake Kakashi turned his head and looked at Uchiha Kamizuki before continuing. "Uchiha Kamizuki, are you trying to say this?" Although the tone of Hatake Kakashi's words was questionable, the tone of them was very certain. "This guy." Uchiha Kamizuki looked at Hatake Kakashi on the opposite side, although the other side was flamboyant. However, he also has to admit that Hatake Kakashi's insight, actual combat ability, and grasp of the situation are indeed far superior to those of his peers. Such Hatake Kakashi deserves to be the genius behind the big boss who beat the early Uchiha Obito in the original work. "Good." Hearing this, Uchiha Kamizuki couldn't help but nodded in agreement, and then continued. "However, you still haven't said the most important thing, that is, the three of them died at the hands of one person." "What? Alone?" Hearing this, Hatake Kakashi just raised his eyebrows slightly, but Sarutobi Tonari couldn't help but said, "Kamizuki, have you made a mistake? How can one person kill three shinobi of the same level at almost the same time?" When Uchiha Kamizuki heard this, and was about to explain a few words to Sarutobi Tonari, a voice suddenly came from behind a big tree. "As expected, it is a ninja from Konoha village. This analysis ability is really extraordinary, and it is close to the truth." The sudden appearance of the sound surprised Uchiha Kamizuki and the three of them, and immediately focused their attention on the source of the sound. The next moment, I saw two men and a woman coming. Both of them were 11 or 12 years old, especially one of the men was carrying a long knife on his back. "It's the fools from Sand Shinobi village who did it." As soon as he saw the outfits of the other three, Sarutobi immediately recognized the identities of the three opposite. Just as they guessed, they were indeed ninjas from Sand Shinobi village in the Land of Winds. "Hee, that's right, that's what we did." Seeing Sarutobi Tonaro's extremely angry expression, the only female ninja in Sand Shinobi village looked at Uchiha Kamizuki and the other three provocatively and said, "But what can you do? Asshole." Seeing that the other party was still so arrogant until now, Sarutobi Sharon was so angry that his lungs were about to explode, and he immediately shouted angrily, "Sand Shinobi village fools, I, Sarutobi, will give you a good lesson today." Ha ha. Hearing this, the three teenagers from Sand Shinobi village on the opposite side suddenly burst out laughing, not in the usual arrogant way. "Stop talking nonsense, hand over the scroll to me, or you will end up like one of them." Seeing this scene, Hatake Kakashi rolled up a pair of dead fish eyes, directly pulled out the small short sword from his back, stood up, walked in front of the three of them, and said in a cold voice, "The same words are given to you. Hand over the scroll in your hand, or you will end up worse than the three of them. It seems that you are really looking for death." Among the three teenagers in Sand Shinobi village, a yellow-skinned teenager with 6 red paint painted on his face also strode out of his team and shouted at the three of Uchiha Kamizuki, "Let's go together and get rid of these three Konoha wastes." Hearing this, the other two Sand Shinobi village ninjas had a tacit understanding and rushed towards Uchiha Kamizuki almost at the same time. Seeing this scene, Hatake Kakashi couldn't help raising his eyebrows, and then said with a sneer, "I really don't know how to live or die." Dancing in the wind. One of them, a male ninja with a long knife on his back, yelled suddenly, transformed into 3 clones in an instant, and slashed at Uchiha Kamizuki and the others from 3 different directions. This is the wind ninjutsu that killed those 3 people in Konoha village earlier. Seeing this scene, Uchiha Kamizuki couldn't help raising his eyebrows slightly, and just as he was about to make a move, Hatake Kakashi took the lead and rushed out ahead of time. White Fang Flow Knife Technique, Flash. 0. Seeing that Hatake Kakashi made a move, the only female ninja in Sand Shinobi Village also made a move immediately. Wind Style Fengxiang Slash. A series of light blue wind blades suddenly condensed from the air in front of him, and they rushed towards Hatake Kakashi, who came earlier, covering his head. Seeing this scene, although Hatake Kakashi was shocked, he immediately cast the lightning-style chakra to stimulate his own body cells, and immediately dodged the attack of the man with the long knife. His hands were sealed like lightning. Earth-style Soil Flow Wall. A solid earth wall suddenly rises from the ground, blocking the approaching wind blade. Boom, boom, boom. The dense wind blades like raindrops all bombarded Hatake Kakashi on the condensed earth flow wall. This. How is it possible? Seeing Hatake Kakashi, he dodged cleanly from his own side. A series of attacks by two colored people, a man and a woman who attacked at the same time before, and the two boys and girls from Sand Shinobi Village suddenly widened their eyes, with disbelief on their faces' color. Hearing the exclamation of the other two, Hatake Kakashi couldn't help but flash a smug look in his dead fish eyes, and he was about to mock the other two immediately. However, the next moment, Hatake Kakashi suddenly felt that the hairs all over his body exploded at this moment, and a chilling murderous intent suddenly appeared and enveloped Hatake Kakashi. No, it's him. Only then did Hatake Kakashi remember that the leader of the other party, a tall boy with six paths on his face, was actually ignored by him. Careless. At the critical juncture, Hatake Kakashi didn't panic at all, but thought calmly and unusually. However, it doesn't matter. I'm not fighting alone. With Uchiha Kamizuki and the other two guys here, I will definitely make a move to stop this sneak attacking guy. Although Hatake Kakashi is a little upset, this guy Uchiha Kamizuki. However, Hatake Kakashi, I have to admit that Uchiha Kamizuki is indeed very strong. He had already 1v2 before. Uchiha Kamizuki solved this guy by himself. It should not be a problem at all. Just when Hatake Kakashi was thinking about these thoughts, he suddenly heard the conversation between Uchiha Kamizuki and Sarutobi Tonari. Kamizuki, why are you stopping me? I want to help Kakashi get rid of these guys. Sharon, let me tell you why you don't understand. Didn't you see Kakashi? You rushed up first, and once you came up, you easily escaped the two intolerable difficulties in the market. It's obvious that Kakashi has the upper hand, so why do you rush to help Kakashi? If you do this, you will hurt the heart of Kakashi, who is the former first genius of our Konoha village. So that's the case, Kamizuki, you see it thoroughly, admire. Hey, give in. The gods still have the upper hand. After hearing the conversation between Uchiha Kamizuki and Sarutobi Tonari, a mouthful of old blood almost didn't come out. Uchiha Kamizuki, you two fools, lousy as fighting 3 against 1. Hatake Kakashi is really suffering at this time. His current situation is really not optimistic, and some want to ask Uchiha Kamizuki for help. However, Hatake Kakashi's heart twitched at the thought of asking Uchiha Kamizuki for help. Immediately, Hatake Kakashi gritted his teeth and chose not to speak anymore. Even if he wanted to resist the opponent's blow, he would not turn to Uchiha Kamizuki, this extremely hateful family, for help. In such a complicated mood, while trying his best to dodge the opponent's attack, he began to wait for the opportunity to launch a counterattack. However, before Hatake Kakashi seized the opportunity to launch a counterattack, the two Sand Shinobi Village ninjas finally recovered from the shock. What's going on? Those two guys from Konoha Village, why don't they go up and help their teammates? Seeing this scene, the male ninja holding a long knife was puzzled, but the opportunity now is really great. I can't control that much, let's get rid of this white-haired boy first. Thinking of this, the male ninja holding a long knife immediately gave the female ninja beside him a wink plus motioned her to rush up with him. He intends to make a quick decision, first deal with Kakashi on the screen, and then work with the other two companions to deal with the other two guys. Uchiha Kamizuki, how dare you stand and watch a movie? Out of the corner of Hatake Kakashi's eye, he saw Sarutobi Tonari and Uchiha Kamizuki hiding behind him. Just at this time, the 3 teenagers from Sand Shinobi Village completed the encirclement of Hatake Kakashi and then launched their attack. Wind style peacock spin. Hailwind swordsmanship Juhei slash. Wind style practicing blank bullets. All of a sudden, wind blades, sword chi, and air bombs enveloped Hotake Kakashi one after another. Seeing these attacks, Hotake Kakashi was in no mood. He was not in the mood to argue with Uchiha Kamizuki. He could only increase his movement speed constantly. While looking for the opponent's attack, he tried to find the opportunity to counterattack. Uchiha Kamizuki looked at Hotake Kakashi, who was caught in a hard fight, and couldn't help laughing. Since Hotake Kakashi formed a team with him, he has been doing all kinds of shows to death, and it is simply a show. Now just take this opportunity to tidy up, Hotake Kakashi, a stinky boy, let everyone know the importance of teamwork. Uchiha Kamizuki did so with complete measure, after observing the battle for a period of time. Uchiha Kamizuki has long discovered that the strength of the three people in Sand Shinobi Village is not very strong. Even with the strength of Hotake Kakashi, they can handle it. Therefore, he didn't make a move, and wanted to take this opportunity to take a good look at Hotake Kakashi, this pushy guy. After all, everyone is just a genin-level ninja, and there are not many chakra in the body, and they will be exhausted if they can't support a few ninjutsu. Therefore, the battles between ninjas at the genin level are mainly physical combat duels close to the body. Just like the current situation, Hotake Kakashi's situation seems dangerous, but in fact there is not much danger. It is also based on the above reasons that Uchiha Kamizuki dared to pull Sarutobi Tonari so coolly, watching this good show from the sidelines. Chapter 91. The boy from Sand Shinobi Village, whose face was painted with oil paint, suddenly flashed in front of Hotake Kakashi in the gentle breeze, and raised his hand to cut him. Wind style chaos god kill. A large amount of wind attribute chakra gushed out from the body of the Sand Shinobi Village boy, and then gathered on his right hand, condensed into a 5 or 6 meter long powerful chi blade sword, and slashed down towards Hotake Kakashi. Seeing this scene, Hotake Kakashi quickly made seals on his chest with his left and right hands. Fire style fire dragon flame bomb. The next moment, 3 groups of giant great fireballs exuded scorching heat, and rushed towards the Sand Shinobi Village boy's chi blade sword. Boom! As soon as the two sides came into contact, a violent explosion was triggered immediately. Under the strong air blast, Hotake Kakashi and the teenagers from Sand Shinobi Village were immediately thrown out. Water style water chaos. Seeing this scene, the female ninja in Sand Shinobi Village immediately began to seal, and then sprayed a stream of water to bombard Hotake Kakashi. The male ninja on the other side also leapt high and rushed towards the unstable Hotake Kakashi. Clang! He took off the long knife on his back, held it horizontally at his waist, held the handle tightly with his right hand, and then pulled it out suddenly. Slash against the wind. In an instant, a flash of brilliant sword light flashed out from his waist as fast as lightning, forming a half-moon-shaped bright sword aura, cutting through the air and slashing towards Hotake Kakashi from the side. Hotake Kakashi looked at the attacks coming from two sides, and couldn't help but his face changed drastically. At this time, Hotake Kakashi was in the air, and chakra in his body was shaken by the previous shock wave, showing some signs of collapse. It is not easy to organize defense in an orderly manner. In addition, now that Hotake Kakashi is flanked by people from left to right, he can only defend one side at most, and when the time comes, he will definitely be injured by the opponent. I didn't expect that the strength of the Sand Shinobi Village team would be so strong. I'm careless. While Hotake Kakashi was feeling bitter, Deng even began to stand in for technique, trying to avoid the joint attack of the two opponents. See where you flee. The one in Sand Shinobi Village, the boy with oil paint on his face, saw that Hotake Kakashi wanted to perform ninjutsu, and immediately resisted the retreat, condensed dozens of tiny thousand roots, and shot towards him like lightning. Hotake Kakashi. It's over. Hotake Kakashi's face couldn't help being cold when he saw Chinbin coming from the other side. The scene in front of him was basically a desperate situation for him. Just when Hotake Kakashi was feeling desperate, Uchiha Kamizuki's figure suddenly appeared beside Hotake Kakashi, grabbed Hotake Kakashi's shoulder. Road. Don't resist. Follow me. As soon as the voice fell, Uchiha Kamizuki immediately activated the instant technique, and instantly came to the trunk of a big tree 30 meters away. Boom, boom, boom. The attacks of the 3 Sand Shinobi Village ninjas collided immediately, causing another explosion. What When the smoke and dust disappeared, the trio of Sand Shinobi Village found that Hatake Kakashi was rescued by Uchiha Kamizuki, and their faces turned ugly. They managed to push Hatake Kakashi, a powerful enemy, into a desperate situation before, but they were rescued by Uchiha Kamizuki, so how could they not be in a hurry? It's interesting. I didn't expect that there would be ninjas as strong as you in Sand Shinobi Village this time. Uchiha Kamizuki stood on the tree trunk with his hands behind his back, looked down at the trio of Sand Shinobi Village, smiled lightly, and said, "Report your names, you are qualified now, let me remember your names." This guy. Hatake Kakashi looked at Uchiha Kamizuki, who started to pretend after saving himself, and couldn't help but secretly said in his heart, "Oh, how did I forget to do this before?" Hatake Kakashi looked at Uchiha Kamizuki on the side, and had to say that Uchiha Kamizuki was really aggressive at this time. In contrast, he himself had a tough fight with the other party as soon as he came up, and he forgot to pretend to be coercive first, and in the end he was almost killed by others, which is really embarrassing. It is also for this reason that Hatake Kakashi did not argue with Uchiha Kamizuki, but quietly watched how Uchiha Kamizuki would respond next. "I am Baki from Sand Shinobi Village, and they are Moro and Huado." Just when Hatake Kakashi was thinking about this, among the Sand Shinobi Village trio below, the boy with oil paint on his face stood up and said, "Who are you? How crazy are you, Ma, Baki?" Hearing this, Uchiha Kamizuki couldn't help but raise his brows. "Baki, this guy Uchiha is very impressive. After all, Baki is considered a relatively famous soy sauce party in the original work. First of all, Baki is the master of Keisuke Gaara, and also a high-ranking disciple in Sand Shinobi Village. In particular, in the original book, Baki even killed the famous unlucky ghost Moonlight Hayate in Orochimaru's Konoha collapse plan. Later, Yakushi Kabuto found Moonlight Hayate's body again. After doing some tricks, it was even in Shippuden. During the Fourth Ninja World War, he was revived using reanimation jutsu, and he and Azuki Shion fought fiercely. Sprinkled Zhao Lihao a handful of dog food. I didn't expect it to be Baki." Uchiha Kamizuki looked at Baki below, and couldn't help feeling a little surprised. After all, in the original book, it took 2 years for Baki to pass the Chunin exam and become a Chunin. However, from Uchiha Kamizuki's point of view, the current Baki actually has the strength to become a Chunin. Could it be that in the original book, Baki was eliminated because he met Hatake Kakashi, which caused the graduation time to be greatly delayed? Thinking of this, Uchiha Kamizuki couldn't help but feel very interesting, and then secretly slandered. "After I travel through time, it will definitely have an impact on the plot of the original book. I just don't know what kind of butterfly effect it will cause in the future." Just when Uchiha Kamizuki was thinking wildly, Baki looked at Uchiha Kamizuki, and said with a sneer, "I said, who are you? Why don't you even dare to say your name? You must be a nobody." Facing Baki's aggressive method, Uchiha Kamizuki just smiled lightly and said, "Hehe, I'm Uchiha Kamizuki from Konoha Village. What, are you from the Uchiha clan?" Unexpectedly, after Uchiha Kamizuki announced his name, Baki was seriously surprised. It's no wonder that Baki was so shocked. After all, the reputation of Sharingan, the blood successor of the Uchiha clan, is also a prestigious existence in the entire ninja world. Moreover, Baki, as a member of Sand Shinobi Village among the 5 major ninja villages, knows more about the power of the Sharingan of the Uchiha clan than ordinary ninjas in small ninja villages. Good. Although Uchiha Kamizuki doesn't have a good relationship with the Uchiha clan, but at the same time, he doesn't mean to tease the Uchiha clan. However, he does have the blood of the Uchiha clan flowing through him. Therefore, Uchiha Kamizuki didn't bother to explain or deny Baki's question, so he simply admitted it generously. "I didn't expect that I could meet a member of the Sharingan family, which is famous in the ninja world." Baki narrowed his eyes slightly, and suddenly showed a cautious expression on his face, and said, "It's rare to have such an opportunity, so I'd like to ask you a few tricks." Hearing this, Uchiha Kamizuki said indifferently, "Since you want AJCI to ask me some tricks, isn't it inappropriate to play this kind of sneak attack?" As soon as the words fell, Uchiha Kamizuki's figure suddenly flashed backwards, and then his hands were knotted together, and at the same time, he opened his mouth to let the downwind blow. Fire-style Great Fireball Technique. A hot orange fireball burst out from Uchiha Kamizuki's mouth, and it rose in the wind. In an instant, it exploded to a diameter of 5 meters, and bombarded the ninjas of Sand Shinobi Village sneaking below. Seeing this scene, Baki's expression changed drastically. He obviously didn't expect that Uchiha Kamizuki had seen through his intention early on, and instead used his idea of wanting to attract Uchiha Kamizuki's attention to trick him in turn. Seeing the oncoming fireball getting bigger and bigger and about to explode, Baki quickly avoided it with body replacement technique. The next moment, Baki's figure appeared 20 meters away. Boom! Amidst the loud noise, the great fireball displayed by Uchiha Kamizuki exploded violently, as powerful as several grenades exploded at the same time, directly destroying everything within a radius of 10 meters. What a strong fire-style ninjutsu! Looking at the powerful explosion below, Baki couldn't help taking a breath, and Chunin couldn't help but say, "Mo Luo and Huiying, these two guys, should they hide away? It's such a time, you still have the mood to watch others." Just when Baki was shocked, Uchiha Kamizuki's figure, if it was a sudden figure, suddenly appeared behind Baki, and said lightly, "I think you still need to care more about yourself." Lightning-style Chidori. Not good. It was as intense as 1,000 birds chirping. Baki couldn't help but turn around in panic, only to see a strong thunder light rapidly expanding in front of his eyes. It's over. Stimulated by the strong electric current, Baki couldn't help being paralyzed all over his body, making it extremely difficult to move. He immediately knew that it was impossible for him to escape Uchiha Kamizuki's blow. PFF'd. In the next moment, Uchiha Kamizuki's right arm, condensed with Chidori, pierced directly through Baki's chest, and brought Baki's body with him, bombarding the thick tree trunk behind Baki. Boom! Amidst the muffled sound, a large amount of sawdust flew, and Baki's body was directly embedded in the thick tree trunk behind him. "Ah, I'm going to kill you." Seeing Baki being killed with her own eyes, Huiying immediately rushed towards God Uchiha with 2 kunai. Seeing this scene, Uchiha Kamizuki suddenly turned his head, a pair of scarlet Sharingan opened suddenly, and 3 lacquered Hokage suddenly spun. Bang 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 bang. Swept away by Uchiha Kamizuki's Sharingan, Huiying felt her heart beating fast instantly, and her whole body just froze in place as if she had been hit by a hold spell. Call out. Uchiha Kamizuki flicked his hand casually, piercing through the air directly, piercing Huiying's throat with a fist of kunai that reflected the cold light. Ah! Ah! While the blood was splashing, Huiying covered her throat with her hands in pain, the color of life in her eyes disappeared, and then fell from the tree trunk. Huiying. Muro. When Baki saw Uchiha Kamizuki shot immediately and killed 2 of his teammates directly, his eyes turned red immediately. Uchiha Kamizuki's actions were fast, accurate, and ruthless, so that Baki had no time to stop Uchiha Kamizuki. Uchiha Kamizuki. Baki regretted it in his heart at this moment. He really underestimated Uchiha Kamizuki's strength before. Baki's previous plan was for him to attract Uchiha Kamizuki's attention from the front, while his 2 companions, Huiying and Maro, would sneak up on Uchiha Kamizuki from behind. However, because he underestimated Uchiha Kamizuki's strength, Huiying and Maro were instantly killed by Uchiha Kamizuki, and it was too late for him to rescue Huiying and Maro. Uchiha Kamizuki, you dare to kill people, wouldn't it cause a war between my Sand Shinobi village and your Konoha village? When Baki saw Uchiha Kamizuki, he kept looking at himself with a light smile, and couldn't help but feel his scalp tingling. After thinking about it, Baki finally found a way to deal with Uchiha Kamizuki. Ha ha! Hearing this, Uchiha Kamizuki laughed. He looked at Baki, who was stern, smiled lightly, and said, "You seem to have killed my Konoha village ninjas before. Don't you be afraid of causing a war between my Konoha village and your Sand Shinobi village." Humph! When Baki heard the words, he snorted coldly. Still unmoved, he snorted coldly and said, "Uchiha Kamizuki, you killed an elite ninja from my Sand Shinobi village today. Lord 3rd Kazekage will definitely ask Lord 3rd Hokage for an explanation. I really want to see, when the time comes, Lord 3rd Hokage, will he fight our Sand Shinobi village for you, or will he hand you over to our Sand Shinobi and give us an explanation?" Sarutobi Tonari and Hitaki Kakashi looked at each other, and their expressions changed. When they heard Baki's statement, they couldn't help but think of the consequences that Baki said, which is indeed very possible. Kamizuki, how about we? Sarutobi Tonari looked at Uchiha Kamizuki with a worried expression on his face. He was really a little scared that things would develop to that point. Ha ha. While Sarutobi Tonari and Hatake Kakashi looked worried, and Baki looked proud, Uchiha Kamizuki suddenly burst out laughing. Baki, right, I really want to ask you, you said Sand Shinobi Village will start a war, so you start a war. Don't think about it carefully. Today you Sand Shinobi Village used this trick to force Konoha to submit. Then in a few days, people from Cloud Shinobi Village, Kurigakure and even Rock Shinobi will hear about this incident. They also used this method to threaten me in Konoha Village. Does the third Hokage have to agree to their request? Speaking of this, Uchiha Kamizuki couldn't help but pause, looked at Baki whose face was gradually turning pale, and couldn't help but curled up a cold arc at the corner of his mouth, and said. Besides, who do you think you are? The third Kazekage will start a war for you with just a few trash like you. If third Kazekage is really so disregarding the overall situation and launching a war recklessly, how can I, Konoha, be the head of the 5 great ninja villages, be afraid of you Sand Shinobi Village? I told you today that you people from Sand Shinobi Village wantonly massacred the ninjas in my Konoha village during an exam. I, Uchiha Kamizuki, as a ninja in Konoha Village, I want to avenge the ninjas in our village, kill all the contestants in Sand Shinobi Village this time, and see if third Kazekage has the courage, jump money to the majesty of Konoha Village. Uchiha Kamizuki's declaration was so impassioned that Sarutobi Tonari and Hatake Kakashi were very excited, while Baki's face was pale and bloodless. Baki's intention was to force Uchiha Kamizuki so he wouldn't dare to do anything to him and the other Sand Shinobi Village ninjas. However, what Baki didn't expect was that Uchiha Kamizuki was not threatened by him at all, and was stimulated by him so fiercely that he threatened to kill all the other Sand Shinobi Village ninjas who participated in the Chunin exam this time. If someone else said that, Baki would just laugh it off, not bothering to talk to him. However, Uchiha Kamizuki's strength is too strong. If Uchiha Kamizuki really wants to do this, the pen hero ninja of Sand Shinobi Village may suffer heavy losses this time. Thinking of this, Baki's face became even more ugly. He understood that even if he bowed his head to Uchiha Kamizuki now, or even committed suicide to apologize, it may not be able to quell this incident. When he thought that because of a mistake in his decision-making, the Sand Shinobi Village where he was located would eventually lead to heavy casualties among the younger generation of elite ninjas, Baki suddenly felt as if he had lost his soul and became desperate. In terms of strength, Baki thinks he is not the opponent of Uchiha Kamizuki and the 3 of them. In terms of the strength comparison between the villages, Sand Shinobi Village is not the opponent of Konoha Village. It can be said that from the whole to the individual, he lost completely to Baki, and was completely defeated in front of Uchiha Kamizuki's Kamizuki. Looking at Baki who had completely lost his will to fight, Uchiha Kamizuki smiled. There is an old saying, easy to kill, hard to kill. Today, he, Uchiha Kamizuki, criticized every word, and directly described Baki as dazzled and ashamed. Seeing that Baki's emotions were completely manipulated by him, Uchiha couldn't help but twitched a triumphant arc from the corner of his mouth. The next moment, I saw Uchiha Kamizuki casually raised his hand, and a kunai shot out towards Baki, hitting Baki's heart. The intense pain of being pierced in the heart immediately woke up Baki from despair. Baki looked at Uchiha Kamizuki, opened his lips slightly and said, "When did you use illusion on me?" Baki was completely awake at this time, and he already understood that the reason why his own emotions changed so much before, and he was bluffed by what Uchiha Kamizuki said was mainly because he fell into Uchiha Kamizuki's illusion. After all, who can become a ninja, who is not a strong-willed person? How could it be so easy to be provoked by a few words from the enemy out of control, completely lost the will to resist? Hehe, you're going to die anyway, so it's okay to tell you. Uchiha Kamizuki didn't mean to quibble when he heard the words, but smiled and said, "Actually, since the first time you saw me, I have hinted in your subconscious mind that as soon as you do anything to me, the illusion hidden in your mind will suddenly activate. No wonder why Moluo and Huoying were killed by you so easily. It turns out that I lost in before the battle even started." After getting the answer, the color of life in Baki's eyes began to gradually disappear, a thick layer of dead gray gradually appeared on his face, and his voice became weaker and weaker. He continued. Uchiha Kamizuki, you are worthy of the Uchiha clan, the Sharingan pupil technique is really amazing. However, don't underestimate me. Sand Shinobi Villages. Ninja. Looking at Baki, who was dying with power in front of him, a disdainful smile flashed in Uchiha Kamizuki's eyes, and said. Do you want me to underestimate you? Why, just rely on these detonating symbols on your body that are about to detonate. As soon as Uchiha Kamizuki's words came out, Baki, who had been gradually entering death, couldn't help staring at him. At this moment, he actually started to look back, moving his body and trying to get closer, even hugging Priest Uchiha. However, what is the strength of Uchiha Kamizuki, not to mention that Baki is seriously injured and dying, even in the period of Baki's perfect victory, he can't catch Uchiha Kamizuki, let alone now. However, the trash fish is struggling, it's just a trash fish. Uchiha Kamizuki looked at Baki indifferently, and said lightly. You can die in peace. I will send the other Sand Shinobi village people down to accompany you. As soon as the voice fell, Uchiha Kamizuki's body suddenly won a thunderous victory, and his figure disappeared in Baki's sight in an instant. No, Baki stretched out his hands dejectedly, trying to catch Uchiha Kamizuki who had disappeared. The next moment, intense flames flickered from Baki suddenly. Boom, boom, a series of detonating talismans exploded suddenly, and within a radius of 50 meters, they exploded to the point that gravel flew and smoke filled the sky. After the smoke and dust passed, a crater with a diameter of more than 10 meters appeared at the place where Baki was originally located. As for Baki himself, he had already been blown up and disappeared, and he was too dead to die. Phew, it's dangerous, but luckily Kamizuki found out early, otherwise we might be at the end, and we will be handed over by that fool from Sand Shinobi village. Sarutobi Sharon looked at the deep pit in front of him, and couldn't help being afraid for a while, and then said with regret on his face. It's a pity that those customs clearance scrolls are gone. Now we have to find another chance to grab them again. Uchiha Kamizuki heard the words, but shook his head and laughed, and then said. It doesn't matter, anyway, we will have to trouble those guys in Sand Shinobi village later, and the scrolls will be indispensable to us. No, Kamizuki, are you serious? Are you really going to kill all the other contestants in Sand Shinobi village? After hearing Uchiha Kamizuki's words, Sarutobi's expression changed immediately, and he quickly stopped him and said. Kamizuki, you have to calm down, don't be too impulsive. It's okay for us to kill some people from Sand Shinobi village. After all, ninja itself is a very dangerous profession, and casualties are inevitable. However, if you really kill all the other Sand Shinobi village candidates, then third Cage will play with you. Sarutobi Tonaro looked at Uchiha Kamizuki in front of him, the center of gravity is a little scared. He really didn't expect that Uchiha Kamizuki, who has always been more rational, went crazy, but he could do more things than Hokage Kakashi. Seeing that Sarutobi Tonari did not persuade Uchiha Kamizuki, Hokage Kakashi had no choice but to speak, and only heard him say. Uchiha Kamizuki, although I also hate the fools in Sand Shinobi village, I am not wrong for what Sarutobi said. If you really do that, the consequences will be too serious. Seeing Sarutobi Tonari and Hokage Kakashi's two-toned, increasingly dignified look, Uchiha Kamizuki couldn't help laughing, and said. Do you really think that I will be so restless? I still understand the overall situation now. Don't worry, I won't really kill the candidates from Sand Shinobi village, at most I will just disqualify them. Call. After listening to Uchiha Kamizuki's explanation, Sarutobi Tonari couldn't help exhaling a long breath, and said. Looking at you before, I really thought you, Kamizuki, were going to kill those fools in Sand Shinobi village. I was really shocked. Please, use your brain, why can't I even understand this situation? Uchiha Kamizuki looked at Sarutobi Tonaro's expression of lingering fear, and the corners of his mouth twitched slightly. Could it be that in the hearts of Sarutobi Tonari and Hokage Kakashi, Uchiha Kamizuki is so immature and acts so impulsively? Off. After listening to Uchiha Kamizuki's explanation, Sarutobi Tonari couldn't help but let out a long breath and said. Looking at you before, I really thought you, Kamizuki, were going to kill those fools in Sand Shinobi Village. I was really shocked. Please, use your brain, why can't I even understand this situation? Uchiha Kamizuki looked at Sarutobi Tonaro's expression of lingering fear, and the corners of his mouth twitched slightly. Could it be that in the hearts of Sarutobi Tonari and Hatake Kakashi, Uchiha Kamizuki is so immature and acts so impulsively? Okay, we have wasted a lot of time before. After thinking about it for a while, Uchiha Kamizuki didn't want to dwell on those issues anymore, so he changed the subject and said, "Let's hurry up and dare to go to the third test site." Right. As soon as Uchiha Kamizuki mentioned this exam, Sarutobi Tonari suddenly became serious and said, "It's indeed time to leave. After all, we haven't grabbed the scroll yet, so don't accidentally get eliminated." Seeing that Sarutobi Tonari has agreed to his proposal, Uchiha Kamizuki took another look at Hatake Kakashi and said, "Then let's go." Wait, just when Uchiha Kamizuki and Sarutobi Tonari had already started to act, Hatake Kakashi suddenly stopped them, and then Shenguang looked at Uchiha Kakashi and said, "Uchiha Kamizuki, let me ask you, did you cast Sharingan's pupil technique on Sarutobi and me?" Well, as soon as he heard Hatake Kakashi's question, Sarutobi Tonari also became nervous immediately, and also stared at Uchiha Kamizuki with piercing eyes, showing no sign of relaxation. Looking at Sarutobi Tonari's posture, it seems that he wants to deduce the truth from the changes in Uchiha Kamizuki's expression. It's no wonder that Sarutobi was so nervous, mainly because when Uchiha Kamizuki dealt with Baki and the others before, the lethality shown by the mysterious Sharingan pupil technique was too terrifying. Sarutobi Sharin was really afraid that the Uchiha god was also in his subconscious mind, leaving some special hints and then threatening him at critical moments. Hehe. Uchiha Kamizuki looked at Sarutobi Tonari and Hatake Kakashi, who were so tense, couldn't help laughing, and said, "Guess for yourself." After speaking, Uchiha Kamizuki flashed suddenly, and ran towards the center of the Death Forest. Seeing this scene, Hatake Kakashi's expression suddenly changed, and then his figure flashed, and he followed the direction of Uchiha Kamizuki. "Kamizuki, Kakashi, you two are waiting for me." When Sarutobi saw Hatake Kakashi and Uchiha Kamizuki, they ran away one after another, and immediately became a little anxious, and immediately followed closely. Soon, Uchiha Kamizuki and his group arrived outside the place of the first test. Seeing the arrival of Uchiha Kamizuki and the other genin candidates who were hiding in the dark couldn't help being surprised, but they were very understanding, still lurking in the hiding place, motionless, and had no intention of showing up. The examiner of the second test made it very clear, as long as you enter the tower, you must fight until the end of the test time, and then among the remaining people, choose the top 10 teams. There is still 1 hour before the end of the exam time, and almost all the ninja squads have chosen to stand still and wait for the best time to come. Compared with other ninja squads who are cautious, Uchiha Kamizuki and his 3-person team are different. There are 2 geniuses, Uchiha Kamizuki and Hatake Kakashi, who are fearless and appear in everyone's sight. It's finally here. It seems that the tower is the location of the third test. Seeing the only building in the forest, Sarutobi Sharin's eyes lit up immediately, and he couldn't help but speak. "It's here," but, hearing this, Hatake Kakashi glanced at the surrounding woods, then turned his head to Uchiha Kamizuki, and asked, "I found 7 groups, how many did you find?" 10 groups of people. After a little sensing, Uchiha Kamizuki spoke. Upon hearing the number reported by Uchiha Kamizuki, Hatake Kakashi couldn't help raising his eyebrows. In his induction, there are only 7 groups of ninja teams lurking around, but Uchiha Kamizuki said that there are 10 groups, so he can't help but feel a little confused. Hatake Kakashi has always been confident in his own strength, and he doesn't think his detection is wrong. However, Uchiha Kamizuki's strength is still superior to him whether he wants to admit it or not. Therefore, with the number of Uchiha Kamizuki's detections, the probability of error is not great. This guy. Hatake Kakashi forcibly suppressed the complicated thoughts in his mind, and began to form seals instead. Ninja Summoning Technique. As Hatake Kakashi slapped the ground, a large black tadpole rune suddenly spread in all directions. Boom! After a burst of white smoke, a petite summoning ninja dog wearing dark blue clothes and a Konoha forehead protector tied to its head appeared. Little Parker, please go to the tower to investigate the situation. No problem, Kakashi. Little Parker uttered words, and after responding to Hatake Kakashi very cooperatively, he ran towards the high tower in the forest. After we, Parker, investigate the situation in the tower completely, we are ready to start clearing the field. After watching Parker enter the tower, Hatake Kakashi immediately proposed. Good. After Sarutobi Tonari and Uchiha Kamizuki looked at each other, they asked at the same time. Seeing that both Uchiha Kamizuki and Sarutobi Tonari had no objections, the corners of Hatake Kakashi's mouth under the mask could not help showing a curve. The moment he was looking forward to was finally coming. Without keeping Uchiha Kamizuki and the others waiting for a long time, Parker, who went out to inquire about the situation, ran back quickly. After seeing Parker coming back, Hatake Kakashi immediately asked Parker in a deep voice. What's the matter, Parker, have you seen clearly, how many people are there? Hearing this, Parker said softly to Hatake Kakashi, even if he spoke out. I've seen it all, Kakashi, there aren't any genin in the tower right now. Well, then thank you, Parker. Hatake Kakashi's eyes lit up when he heard this. If there is nothing else, then I will go back first. Seeing that the task was completed, Parker immediately disarmed the summoning technique. Boom! A burst of white smoke rose up, and after the smoke cleared, Parker's figure had already disappeared. Well, shall we do it? Hatake Kakashi focused his eyes on Uchiha Kamizuki and asked. Since knowing that Uchiha Kamizuki intends to completely eliminate the Sand Shinobi Village contestants in this exam, Hatake Kakashi also feels very excited and has a feeling of excitement. Although Hatake Kakashi thinks that he is strong enough, he doesn't think that he alone is enough to single out the entire Sand Shinobi Village contestants. Therefore, Hatake Kakashi wants to join forces with Uchiha Kamizuki, this guy, and clear the field directly. Uchiha Kamizuki nodded directly when he heard this. Good. After Hatake Kakashi listened to Uchiha Kamizuki's answer, his body straightened up immediately, exuding a fiery fighting spirit. Which group of people to start with? Stimulated by Hatake Kakashi's fighting spirit, Sarutobi Tonari was also full of fighting spirit and asked. Follow me. Hearing this, Uchiha Kamizuki just smiled lightly, his figure flashed, and he shot straight at a dense old tree next to him. Shadow Clone Technique. In midair, Uchiha Kamizuki began to make mudras with his hands, and the next moment, one after another, white snow rose up one after another. Boom, boom, boom. The white mist exploded one after another, and one after another Uchiha Kamizuki's shadow clone appeared one after another, and then these shadow clones also formed seals at the same time. Fire Style Great Fireball Technique. Fire Style Great Fireball Technique. Fire Style Great Fireball Technique. More than a dozen shadow clones displayed their Great Fireball Technique at the same time. The scene was extremely spectacular, and immediately stunned Hatake Kakashi and Sarutobi who were still watching. You know, even if it is like Chunin, it does not have such a powerful chakra volume, enough to count 10 to Shadow Clone, and these Shadow Clone can also perform ninjutsu. But when Hatake Kakashi and Sarutobi Tonari were shocked by Uchiha Kamizuki's strength, the Great Fireball Technique displayed by Uchiha Kamizuki and many Shadow Clone exploded in the deep forest. Boom, boom, boom. Among the successive explosions, all kinds of smoke and dust rose, and the broken branches and rubble were scattered in all directions, among which were occasionally mixed with a few human screams. It's my turn. Seeing that the battle had already begun, Hatake Kakashi's blood boiled with enthusiasm, and his fighting spirit burst into flames, and he went straight to the battlefield in a flash. Amazing. For Uchiha Kamizuki's strength, Sarutobi Sharon also sighed. Wait for me, Kakashi. Seeing that Hatake Kakashi also started to move, Sarutobi immediately followed up. With the addition of Hatake Kakashi and Sarutobi, the battle on the whole Ajaj battlefield suddenly became more intense. Konoha Village fools. Crazy, actually set off a chaotic war. Fight with these guys. Want to eliminate us? Come on, everyone. As time passed, more and more genin classes were forced to join the battle band. Gradually, everyone began to fight with real fire, and suddenly, all kinds of ninjutsu flew out one after another on the field. Fire style, Phoenix fire technique. Water style, water rushing waves. Earth style, Torin gun. This is a contestant in Konoha village. Wind style, Fengxiang slash. Wind style, chopping empty waves. Wind style, wind killing array. This is the contestant for Sand Shinobi village. Earth style, earth flow, great river. Water style, like 1,000 books of rain and dew. Fire style, flame burst. Lightning style, thunder fang. Illusion, Narakumi technique. These are the ninjas from other ninja villages. While a group of genins were fighting outside the tower, the gangsters of the ninja village inside the tower had different expressions. Master Hokage, the ninjas in your village actually aroused hatred in advance before the third exam, causing the elite ninjas in each village to fight chaotically, resulting in heavy casualties. Should you give us people an explanation? Third Kazekage from Sand Shinobi village sneered, looked at third Kazekage Sarutobi Hiruzen, and asked with a sneer. As soon as third Kazekage said this, he immediately attracted the attention of all the bosses of Shounen village, and they all looked at third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen, waiting for his answer. Call. Listening to third Kazekage's questioning, Sarutobi Hiruzen did not speak immediately, but exhaled a mouthful of thick smoke, covering his face in the smoke, making it difficult to see the expression on his face. Sarutobi Hiruzen also didn't expect that Uchiha Kamizuki's group would be so courageous, and immediately started to clear the field, causing a big battle among all the candidates, which happened to give third Kazekage a chance to find trouble. Before, when Uchiha Kamizuki said that he would eliminate all participating Sand Shinobi village ninjas, Sarutobi Hiruzen was a little worried. However, when Sarutobi Hiruzen thought of Uchiha Kamizuki's usual stable performance, he thought that Uchiha Kamizuki was just trying to scare Baki. As a result, at this moment, even if he wanted to stop Uchiha Kamizuki, the three of them were already too late. Now, because of Uchiha Kamizuki's misconduct, many of the elite genin of Ninja Village have suffered casualties. Therefore, many people from these small ninja villages began to stand on the side of Sand Shinobi village, which put a lot of pressure on Sarutobi Hiruzen. At this moment, as soon as third Kazekage started to take the lead, many other people from Shounen village who were angry in their hearts began to respond to the call. In this way, if a bad response is made, I am afraid that the people in these small ninja villages will completely fall to Sand Shinobi village. At that time, the situation may become uncontrollable, and Konoha village will also be pushed to the forefront and bear great pressure. Ha ha. When the scene was silent for a while, Hokage's assistant Shimura Danzo, who had been silent all this time, suddenly burst out laughing. Janjian attracted everyone's attention. Seeing that everyone's attention was attracted by him, he immediately said, "This time, in the second round of the Chunin exam, it has long been stipulated that we must fight to the end, and the remaining 10 groups of candidates will pass this round. A law like Uchiha Kamizuki is completely within the rules, not a violation of the rules. Besides, as a real ninja, if you can't learn to save your life in the battlefield, and don't experience the test of blood and fire, how can you become a real ninja? The rules have already said that those who are afraid of death can withdraw. They all voluntarily stayed to take this exam. Why should we ask Konoha wife to explain now? Also, before Sand Shinobi village killed the ninja in my Konoha village, what explanation did you give?" Speaking of this, Shimura Danzo narrowed his one eye slightly, and looked at third Kazekage in a flash of cold light, and asked coldly. "It's not impossible to ask Konoha to give an explanation, but before that, third Kazekage, shouldn't you give us Konoha an explanation?" Facing Shimura Danzo's questioning, third Kazekage couldn't help but froze, and didn't speak in a hurry. He is really afraid of Shimura Danzo, the mad dog. Who doesn't know that Shimura Danzo, the darkness of the ninja world, is a full-fledged war madman? Wei incited the ninjas in the village to invade other ninja villages in Konoha village. If it weren't for Sarutobi Hiruzen, the peacemaker's third Hokage, he would have brought the ninjas in the village to fight this and that. Moreover, even under the pressure of Sarutobi Hiruzen, Shimura Danzo has a lot of activities behind the scenes. Since the establishment of the route, various espionage activities have continued one after another, making the atmosphere among the major ninja villages tense. Furthermore, the reason why third Hokage ran over to persecute Sarutobi Hiruzen was because Sarutobi Hiruzen is a conservative and has always been relatively weak externally. However, he didn't expect that Shimura Danzo suddenly came out to intervene, and his attitude was not usually tough. In addition, Sarutobi Hiruzen has not made a clear statement all the time, and seems to support Shimura Danzo, which immediately makes third Kazekage a little undecided. After all, Konoha is the head of the 5 major ninja villages, and there are many powerful ninja geniuses, and he, Sand Shinobi Village, has regained some vitality. If he really had a hard fight with Konoha Village, he would be a bit hypocritical. Who is Sarutobi Hiruzen? He is an old man. He was a little worried that third Kazekage would come with him for real, and he would not let him go, so he was a little hesitant. At this moment, seeing that third Kazekage's attitude has changed under Sarutobi Hiruzen's persecution, he immediately knew that third Kazekage was just bluffing and finding fault on purpose. At least he did not dare to take this opportunity to start a war. After thinking about this, Sarutobi Hiruzen suddenly changed his aura, and the aura of a generation of ninja returned to him. Then he smiled lightly and said, "Okay, the time for the second exam is almost here, let's take a closer look and see who will pass the exam this time." Hearing this, third Kazekage immediately knew Sarutobi Hiruzen's attitude. Although he was a little bit sorry that he was forced by Shimura Danzo before, which made his momentum weaker, Sarutobi Hiruzen saw his flaws. However, at the same time, third Kazekage also felt a little fortunate, thankful that he was not too impulsive. After all, the other people in Shinobi Village haven't clarified their perverts yet. If there is a real fight between Sand Shinobi Village and Konoha Village, and these guys wither instead, the loss outweighs the gain. It's no wonder that third Kazekage thinks this way, mainly because the people in Shounen Village really have such sloppy virtues. During World War I and World War II, people in these small ninja villages often did this, especially the Rain Shinobi Village in the country of Rain. The strongest tolerance village. Sure enough, seeing the third Kazekage of Sand Shinobi Village, who is also one of the 5 great ninja villages, all withered away, the other people in the Shinobi Village immediately followed suit, pretending that nothing had happened, and continued seriously watch the battle outside. Seeing this scene, third Kazekage couldn't help being furious, secretly thinking that dogs can't change eating shit, and secretly slandered. This group of useless guys are really unreliable. On the other hand, Konoha Village's side, Shimura Danzo began to feel complacent. After all, the other party was third Kazekage of Sand Shinobi Village, and he was convinced by himself. And the happiest is Sarutobi Hiruzen. He can't help but feel that Shimura Danzo is cute sometimes, and it's quite effective to release the light ki to bite people all the time. It seems that this time is indeed my most prosperous year in Konoha Village. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at Shimura Danzo, and then at Uchiha Kamizuki outside. He couldn't help but feel refreshed. From the older generation to the younger generation, they are overwhelming other ninja villages. This is what he wants to see the most. Lightning-style Chidori. Seeing that the time was ripe, Uchiha Kamizuki immediately formed mudras with both hands, pulled the powerful thunder attribute chakra in his body, and rushed towards a thin ninja from Sand Shinobi Village on the opposite side. Driven by the powerful inertia, Uchiha Kamizuki instantly turned into lightning, directly past the opponent's still-formed defense, and his right hand full of lightning pierced through the heart of the enemy ninja in an instant. PFF'd. With a soft sound, Uchiha Kamizuki directly pulled out his bloody right hand from the body of the Sand Shinobi Village ninja. ZZZZ. In the blink of an electric light, the Madara's bloodline that was originally attached to the arm was burned up. Hehe. Next, with a flash of eyes, Uchiha Kamizuki locked onto the figure of a Sand Shinobi Village ninja in the distance. ZZZZ. Under the lightning-style chakra mode, Uchiha Kamizuki's speed is astonishingly fast, just like real lightning, and people often disappear with just a flash of lightning. On the entire battlefield, the only one who can compete with Uchiha Kamizuki in speed is Hatake Kakashi, who is practicing White Fang's knife technique. As time passed, more and more ninjas became envious, and the battle on the entire battlefield suddenly became fierce. Fire-style Great Fireball Technique. Earth-style Earth Flow Wall. Wind-style Agreed Breakthrough. Fireballs, wind blades, earth walls, ground thorns, and thunder snakes flickered on the battlefield one after another. The scene was quite gorgeous, but the casualties became more and more serious. Time is up, everyone stop immediately. Suddenly, a roar containing powerful chakra fluctuations suddenly resounded on the battlefield, pouring on everyone's hearts like a basin of cold water, and immediately calmed down their crazy killing hearts. Uchiha Kamizuki turned his head and saw the female examiner Jonin appearing in front of everyone, and said with a smile on his face. Not bad, not bad. I didn't expect so many people to survive the chaos. Speaking of this, the smile on the face of the female Jonin examiner became more intense, and continued. Congratulations, all passed. What? Don't we only want the top 10? Why is the current exam always like this? The rules can be changed as soon as they are said. That's right, it caused so many of us to die. As soon as the voice of the female examiner Jonin fell, all the candidates on the field immediately became angry. They fought desperately because they couldn't stop fighting before the end of the exam time, and they only took the top 10. They fought so hard until now. As a result, now the examiner came out and told them that they had all passed. That is to say, killing them before was completely unnecessary. Isn't this treating them like idiots? How could they not be angry? Facing the anger of the genin candidates, the female Jonin Invigilator was also very helpless. She originally planned to follow the rules. As a result, because of the chaos of the three of you, causing a lot of casualties, the elders of other ninja villages were upset and asked to change the rules. After all, if it were you, the ninjas of your ninja village were eliminated collectively after a desperate battle, and you didn't even have the chance to show up at the end, so you can't do it. So, Sarutobi Hiruzen could only hold his nose and agree to the request of many big bosses in Ninja Village. It is precisely because of this that this scene is now. However, even if it's my own fault, I can't lose the face of Jonin and Ninja Village. Thinking of this, the female Jonin Invigilator suddenly turned cold, and released her murderous aura, covering the genins. In an instant, the strong murderous intent enveloped all the genin candidates present. Except for Uchiha Kamizuki, everyone's expressions changed wildly, and even some genin who had never seen blood and whose willpower was not firm enough, bluntly fell into the King of Illusion. In their eyes, the whole world has turned blood red, and the sky is still raining scarlet blood. One after another, mountains of corpses piled up from corpses stand tall on the ground, as if they are silently addressing them. How many people died? Gradually, they even saw their own corpses on top of the corpse mountains. The death condition was even more terrifying, like a ghost. Plop, plop, plop. One after another, the young genin candidates fell to the ground one after another. They curled up on the ground like fish out of water, gasping for breath. Seeing that these genin candidates had reached the limit they could bear, the female Jonin Invigilator slowly withdrew her murderous aura. Her beautiful eyes looked at Uchiha Kamizuki, the only one in the field who was still standing with her hands behind her back. A strong look of appreciation flashed in her eyes, and she secretly praised in her heart. Uchiha Kamizuki, you are indeed the first genius of Konoha's younger generation. Uchiha Kamizuki. Hitaki Kakashi knelt down on one knee, the cold sweat all over his body drenched his close-fitting combat uniform. He looked at Uchiha Kamizuki, who was still calm in the field, and couldn't help clenching his fists. He thought unwillingly. Uchiha Kamizuki. How strong are you? Just when a group of genin candidates roughly regained consciousness, the voice of the female Jonin Invigilator Sen Han sounded at the right time. This world is dominated by the strong. Who cares about the life and death of those unknown guys? Only the strong are worthy of having everything, while the weak cannot even choose how they die. The only value of the existence of the weak is to set off the strong, which is to atone for their original sin of being weak. The weak must have the consciousness of being weak, and never try to challenge the real bottom line of those strong. Because only in this way can you weak people like ants live longer. Speaking of this, the female Jonin Invigilator couldn't help but glanced at everyone present, and then sneered cruelly and said to Uchiha Kamizuki and other candidates waiting on the field. Okay, tell me now, who among you is not convinced? Swept by the cold eyes of the female Jonin Invigilator, those genin candidates who were looking at her immediately lowered their heads and did not dare to say anything. Okay, since you have no objections now, all of you will enter the tower. The third exam of the Chunin exam is still waiting for you. Seeing this group of rebellious genin examinees, finally being honest, the female Jonin Invigilator's mouth couldn't help showing a twitch, and Dang Lian turned around and walked towards the tower. It's a pity that the guys from Sand Shinobi Village were not able to be completely eliminated, and they were also fooled around. Seeing this scene, Uchiha Kamizuki couldn't help but shook his head, smiled at Hotake Kakashi and Sarutobi beside him, and then said, "Okay, let's go now, and have fun with them until the third match." Sarutobi Sharon, Hotake Kakashi. Hotake Kakashi and Sarutobi Tonari really don't know what to say about Uchiha Kamizuki at this moment, and they are planning to clean up the guys from Sand Shinobi Village at this point. However, in fact, they also felt that the battle this time was really enjoyable, especially when the guys from Sand Shinobi Village ran away with their heads in their arms. Thinking this way, Hotake Kakashi and Sarutobi Tonari followed behind Uchiha Kamizuki, and the three quickly entered the tower. Go in, go in. Are we still going in? What the hell, they've already arrived here, whether they live or die, they have to follow to the end. That's right, let's go. Seeing Uchiha Kamizuki and the others leave, the other young geniuses from Ninja Village also gritted their teeth, and also followed Uchiha Kamizuki and the three of them, entering the tower one after another. After everyone entered the tower, the gate of the tower was closed instantly, and the whole tower was plunged into darkness at this moment. What happened? Careful, what the hell are you going to do again? A group of genin candidates screamed again at this sudden situation, for fear that those cruel examiners would make something wrong again. Just when all the genin candidates were in doubt, suddenly one after another of strong lights flashed continuously, and within a few breaths, the whole tower was bright as day. First of all, I would like to congratulate all of you for passing the second Chunin exam. A vicissitudes of voice suddenly appeared in the tower, only to hear this voice continue to say. Then next we will officially conduct the Chunin examination main round test. The third round of exams is different from the previous two rounds of exams. What it tests is not your ability to collect intelligence, nor your ability to preserve your strength in a chaotic battle, but your actual combat power. Now I announce that the rules for the third round of Chunin exams are group knockouts. In this round of exams, each of the three members of the same group must compete at least 3 times with members of other groups. Each win gets 2 points, a draw gets 1 point, and a loss gets 0 points. In the end, the group scores are added up. The top 10 groups in total will be promoted to Chunin, and the others will be considered eliminated. Quote, "From now on, the big screen will randomly select the members of the duel group until everyone completes more than 3 duels. I announce that the third round of the Chunin exam finals begins now." As the sound fell, the large LCD screen hanging on the high wall suddenly began to flicker, and one name after another kept rolling on it. Seeing this scene, all the genin candidates below had their hearts in their throats, they were a little excited and a little scared. After all, this is already the third round of everyone's exams. Whether they are successful and then return to their hometowns, or Sunshine is eliminated miserably, it depends on the last round. Finally, under the expectant eyes of hundreds of genin candidates, the name that was scrolling endlessly on the big screen finally started to stop slowly. The third round of the Chunin exam, the first round, Sleepy leaves Uchiha God and against Sand Shinobi Village Pakula. Just when the endlessly scrolling names on the big screen finally stopped, the vicissitudes of life sounded in the field again. What? This guy is Pakula. As soon as Uchiha Kamizuki heard the name of his opponent, a familiar feeling emerged from his heart. He always felt that the name was inexplicably familiar, as if he had heard it somewhere. But when Uchiha Kamizuki was replaying me in the memory in his mind, he saw a tall girl slowly walking out of the camp of Sand Shinobi Village. Hearing the movement beside him, Uchiha Kamizuki suddenly turned slightly, and looked at Pakula who was walking out not far away. This is a tall and slender girl with a bald head, but there are 2 strands of beautiful orange-yellow hair in front of her forehead, which hang down like a waterfall until her chin is as smooth as jade. She has slender willow eyebrows, a pair of charming eyes, a straight nose, slightly flushed jade cheeks, delicate and charming lips, and a delicate dimple that is as white as snow, crystal clear as jade, and snowy skin like jade fat. Graceful and slender, elegant and elegant. She was wearing a sleeveless tight-fitting long dress, with purple wristbands on her 2 white lotus arms, her breasts were tall and straight, and her size was far beyond that of her peers. Unsurprisingly, most of Pakula's beautiful legs were exposed, and a small ninja bag was tied on her right leg, her figure almost conformed to the golden ratio. Pakula as a whole gives people a wild and seductive beauty. She often just makes a simple movement, which will make the opposite gender who sees a strong desire to conquer her. Seeing that his opponent turned out to be such a rare beautiful girl, Uchiha Kamizuki couldn't help but feel slightly moved, and stared at Pakura for a while. Shua, Uchiha Kamizuki's figure was blurred in place, but the next moment, he appeared, 10 meters away from Pakula, silently looking at the beautiful girl opposite. Gradually, a figure emerged from the depths of Uchiha Kamizuki's memory, overlapping with Pakula in front of him. "Oh, it's you." Uchiha Kamizuki's eyes lit up slightly, and he finally remembered who this Pakula in front of him was. This beautiful girl is the later Scorch-style ninja Pakula, who was once one of the heroes of Sunagakur, the owner of Scorch-style who inherited the boundary of blood, and made great contributions to Sand Shinobi in the future. Moreover, Pakula is still a good teacher. Even though she was very tired after returning from a mission, she still practiced with her at the request of her apprentice Maggie. Pakula has always believed that the determination to take revenge on other villages is a powerful driving force for real power. During the Third Ninja World War, Sand Shinobi and Iwagakure had a decisive battle. At that time, Sand Shinobi village was in order to cut off the worries of Yuan Yin. Therefore, 4th Kage Rosa thought that Pakula would continue to contribute for the sake of the village, but in fact it was a conspiracy against Pakula. 4th Kage personally ordered Pakula to go to Kurigakure alone as a messenger from Sand Shinobi village. Because Pakula was performing a secret mission, he quietly left the village. But when Pakula stepped into the territory of Kurigakure without knowing it, he was suddenly ambushed by the Mist Shinobi ninja, and finally died tragically at the hands of the enemy. It wasn't until the moment of death that Pakula understood that she had actually been treated as a sacrifice and was given to Kurigakure by the top management of Sand Shinobi, as war compensation for the truce with Mikan. In this way, Pakula, the hero of a generation of Sand Shinobi village, disappeared in this world. Until the 4th Ninja World War, Pakula was resurrected by Yakushi Kabuto with reanimation jutsu and joined the fight against Ninja World in the lineup of the coalition forces. During the battle, Captain Manga, Sealed Bamashi, and Luca were attacked by the enemy. The enemy used guerrilla tactics to disperse everyone's combat power, and Explosion Styles Hunter suddenly appeared in front of everyone. Captain Manga and others fell into a hard fight, but Captain Manga was still very capable and solved the explosion style hunting at once. And just when Maggie was about to seal the hunt, Captain Manga was attacked and killed by the Scorch-style ninja Pakula. However, when Maggie saw that the person who attacked the captain was actually her mentor Pakula, she couldn't help being extremely surprised. At this time, Pakula was unwilling to be betrayed by Sand Shinobi village, and determined to avenge the ninjas of Sand Shinobi village. Seeing this scene, Maggie earnestly persuaded her teacher not to be blinded by hatred and hurt innocent people. Maggie said to Pakula, "The past cannot be erased, but the future can be created." She hopes that the teacher can forget the past hatred and the past grievances. Maggie herself firmly believes that Plus is a member of the Ninja Coalition, everyone has fought together, and the villages will get along well in the future, and will definitely create a new ninja world that will not make those stupid mistakes in the past. Moreover, Pakula died as a Sand Shinobi hero. Maggie asked Mr. Pakula to continue to be a hero, but Pakula was not persuaded by Maggie. In this way, a fierce battle started, until the rescue coalition forces arrived. As the owner of the bloodline boundary, Pakula's Scorch style is extremely powerful. However, Maggie used the Buden technique and the water style ninja Luca to extinguish Pakula's Scorch style. When Pakula was about to be captured, Explosion Styles Hunter came back to life again and saved Pakula, who was about to be sealed. However, Pakula was very relieved to see that Maggie had become so powerful. So, Pakula suddenly figured it out, and then controlled the explosion style with his own consciousness, allowing Maggie and others to escape. In the end, Uchiha Itachi lifted Yakushi Kabuto's reanimation jutsu, and Pakula's soul was finally able to return to the Pure Land world. This is the tragic life of Pakula, the beloved girl of flames, in the dark ninja world. Uchiha Kamizuki did not expect that his opponent in the first match would be Pakula, the heroine of Sand Shinobi village in the future. As far as personal perception is concerned, Uchiha Kamizuki actually sympathizes with Pakula. Even if it is possible, Uchiha Kamizuki does not want to hurt Pakula, a poor man. However, the reality is that they are in a hostile position, and their identities are even more hostile within hostility. Anyway, let's just come here for a while, messenger of Scorch style. Looking at Pakula, who was full of wildness, Uchiha Kamizuki's eyes gradually showed a fighting spirit. Pakula, who was facing Uchiha Kamizuki, sensed the fighting spirit of Yuzebo Kamizuki. He couldn't help but focus his eyes slightly, and then a fighting spirit rose from his body, facing Uchiha Kamizuki from a distance. You are the strongest among people of the same age I have ever seen, and the only one worthy of my all-out attack. Pakula looked at Uchiha Kamizuki on the opposite side, with an unprecedented seriousness in her beautiful eyes, and then said slowly, "Now, directly use your strongest strength to compete with me." Well, seeing Pakula's old-fashioned look, Uchiha Kamizuki couldn't help being slightly taken aback. There is a big gap between this Pakula and the indifferent Pakula in his impression. That's right, the current Pakula is just a kid, far from the hero Pakula of Sand Shinobi Village who has experienced the Third Ninja War. After thinking about it, Uchiha Kamizuki understood, and then looked at Pakula on the opposite side with a calm smile and said softly, "That depends on whether you have the ability, let me use all my strength." Huh, what an arrogant guy. After hearing Uchiha Kamizuki's words, Pakula couldn't help raising his eyebrows. A sneer suddenly appeared on his face, and said, "It seems that I have to make you suffer a little, so that you will know how powerful I am." As soon as Pakula finished speaking, he touched her thigh with his right arm, and immediately a sharp kunai appeared in Pakula's hand. Swish! With a flash of Pakula's figure, he jumped towards Uchiha Kamizuki, and a sharp kunai pierced Uchiha Kamizuki's throat. Nice speed. In the blink of an eye, Uchiha Kamizuki's right hand flashed, and he directly stretched out two fingers, pinched the kunai stabbed by Pakula, and said at the same time, "Unfortunately, it's still not fast enough." Yeah. When Pakula heard the words, he was not angry but happy. He clasped the 5 fingers of his left hand, and suddenly a fireball with a white center and orange-red flames around it emerged from Pakula's left hand. Die! Scorch-style fire strike. In the blazing heat, Pakula held the fireball in his left hand and blasted towards Uchiha Kamizuki's abdomen. Boom! In the blink of an eye, Pakula's attack landed on Uchiha Kamizuki. The next moment, the scorch-style high temperature radiated from Uchiha Kamizuki's body. In just an instant, a large hole was burned out on Uchiha Kamizuki's abdomen, and the intestines and other internal organs inside were clearly visible, and the scene became extremely bloody for a while. What? Kamizuki? How can it be? Hitaki Kakashi and Sarutobi Tonari exclaimed almost at the same time. They really did not expect that Uchiha Kamizuki, who has always been strong in their eyes, would be severely injured by the opponent's one move. Pakula! 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 Seeing this scene, Sand Shinobi Village shouted Pakula's name one after another. Not to mention the feud between Sand Shinobi Village and Konoha Village, but the massacre of Sand Shinobi Village by Uchiha Kamizuki before, also made these inexperienced genin candidates hate Uchiha God to the bone. Under such circumstances, they were very happy to see that Uchiha Kamizuki was severely injured by their companions. People who are also happy are Third Cage. This time, Murder Village can be regarded as regaining a little bit of face in this session of the Chunin exam. Cage-Sama's genin candidate isn't easy. Compared to Third Cage's secret complacency, Sarutobi Hiruzen's face was much more dignified. He looked at Pakula on the field, with a look of surprise on his face, and said, "I really didn't expect that Sand Shinobi Village's battle this time was actually a relatively rare owner of the blood inheritance limit." As the third Hokage, Sarutobi Hiruzen has the title of Doctor of Ninjutsu. Naturally, he can see at a glance that Pakula is the owner of the blood succession limit. Haha, Master Hokage was joking. Pakula's opponent is a member of the famous Uchiha clan of Konoha. I believe that Hokage masters are also looking forward to the duel between the two owners of the blood succession limit. Although Third Cage spoke very modestly, the smug expression on his face betrayed his heart. In addition, Third Cage didn't have it in the first place, and wanted to hide his complacency, which immediately made his complacent expression even more unbearable. It seems that Lord Third Cage seems to have a lot of confidence in the owner of the blood succession boundary in the village. Although Sarutobi Hiruzen looked down on him very much, third Kazekage looked like a villain. However, the quality of being a third Hokage made Sarutobi Hiruzen suppress the unhappiness in his heart, and said flatly, "Then let's wait and see." Pakula didn't know about the secret confrontation between the bosses of the major ninja villages, and she didn't want to know. Her attention is now focused on Uchiha Kamigo, who is her opponent. Pakula didn't expect that Uchiha Kamizuki would lose so quickly, and he couldn't help feeling a little puzzled. After all, Uchiha Kamizuki's performance in the second test was very eye-catching. Why was she defeated so quickly now? You must know that from the beginning of the battle to the present, both sides have not gone through a few rounds. Pakula did not expect that the battle between the two sides would end so quickly. She thought that Uchiha Kamizuki would be a king, but she didn't expect that he was actually bronze. Could it be that this guy used up too much chakra during the battle before, so that there is no one in his current strength? Pakula began to approach Uchiha Kamizuki suspiciously. Although the current situation of Uchiha Kamizuki looked very miserable, but because of the ninja's caution, Pakula still did not act too rashly. Because she has not completely determined whether Uchiha Kamizuki has lost the power to resist. After all, the battle between ninjas is a surprise, and they are good at using camouflage to deceive their opponents, and then launch a sneak attack to kill careless opponents in an instant. Such examples are not uncommon, and she, Pakula, will not become a member of this group of fools, and be killed by her opponent with this method. As the distance drew closer, Pakula could already clearly see the miserable appearance of Uchiha Kamizuki, who fell on the ground after being burned by the scorching. After seeing Uchiha Kamizuki's miserable appearance, Pakula's doubts also eased a lot. Laugh. The orange-red flame burned in Pakula's hand again, and finally turned into a fiery fireball the size of a football, floating above Pakula's right hand. Uchiha Kamizuki, you have no strength to resist, right? If you admit defeat now, I don't have to kill you. With a distance of 5 meters from Uchiha Kamizuki, Pakula said indifferently. This distance is enough to ensure that even Uchiha Kamizuki still has the strength to resist now, and Pakula has enough time to react. Well, after hearing Pakula's voice, Uchiha Kamizuki did not speak, but stretched out his right hand with difficulty, pointing behind Pakula. What? Uchiha Kamizuki's actions made Pakula's complexion change, and some didn't know what Uchiha Kamizuki meant. However, out of the ninja's instinctive caution, Pakula's body didn't move, but his head almost glanced behind him quickly. The next moment, Pakula was stunned, because, behind her, Uchiha Kamizuki was standing with his hands behind his back, exactly the same as before the battle started, as if Uchiha Kamizuki had been standing there all along. What? How is this possible? Seeing this scene, Pakula's face changed wildly, and the whole person exclaimed. Pakula didn't understand what was going on with the situation in front of him. Before that, Pakula's attack was very sudden, and the attack speed was also very fast. In this way, Pakula can clearly know that Uchiha Kamizuki has no chance to seal at all, but a chance to display clone technique. Quack quack. Just when Pakula was puzzled, the seriously injured Uchiha Kamizuki on the ground suddenly changed into a big jet-black crow. These crows did not fly away in a hurry, but hovered over the entire duel field. Black feathers scattered all over the sky, and the sight of the entire battlefield was immediately blocked. Your ability is very special. It should be some kind of blood inheritance limit. Uchiha Kamizuki looked at the shocked Pakula in front of him, smiled slightly and said, I'm quite curious about your abilities. Come on, let me see the other abilities of your blood succession boundary. Arrogance. Hearing Uchiha Kamizuki's condescending words, Pakula couldn't help raising his willow eyebrows slightly. His pretty cheeks were full of anger, and immediately shouted angrily at Uchiha Kamizuki. Since you want to see my ability, then I will let you take a good look. Scorched styling of the sun. Following Pakula's low growl, one after another orange fireballs, scorch-style fireballs one after another, suddenly emerged from the void, forming a circle surrounding Pakula in the middle. At the same time, a terrifying high temperature suddenly emerged, and a fiery heat wave surged toward it like a sea tide, turning the space around 10 meters around Pakula into an orange-red color. With the activation of Shueiji Boundary's ability, Pakula couldn't help showing a proud look on his face. With the protection of the Sun Ring, Pakula believes that Uchiha Kamizuki will no longer be able to get close to him, which is equivalent to directly imprisoning Uchiha Kamizuki's physical attack. In this case, even a ninja of the Chunin level can have a limited amount of chakra. Without the assistance of physical attack, Uchiha Kamizuki's strength may drop by 40 to 50% if he only relies on ninjutsu attack. Under the ebb and flow, Pakula's attack power will increase a lot. Moreover, the most important thing is that the amount of chakra consumed by Pakula to maintain the high-temperature fireball formed by these scorch styles is not very large, at least, enough to fight Uchiha Kamizuki for an hour or two without any problem. 0. Come again. After casting the Ring of the Sun, Pakula immediately felt that his self-confidence, which had been blocked just now, became vigorous again, and then he rushed towards Uchiha Kamizuki. Pakula. Facing Pakula, who was rushing straight, Uchiha Kamizuki's hands were as fast as lightning, and the seal was completed in an instant. With 2 fingers of his left hand, he put them to his mouth and blew suddenly. Fire-style Great Fireball Technique. A line of fire suddenly blew out from Uchiha Kamizuki's mouth, and soon in front of him, it condensed into a fireball, which rose in the wind and turned into a bigger and bigger fireball, heading towards the rushing Pakula. Boom over. With the continuous influx of Uchiha Kamizuki's chakra, the entire Great Fireball is getting bigger and bigger, gradually filling the entire duel arena. What a strong fire-style ninjutsu! Feeling the powerful power of Uchiha Kamizuki's Great Fireball technique, Pakula couldn't help showing a look of shock. Pakula couldn't imagine how powerful Uchiha Kamizuki's control over fire styles ninjutsu was, and he insisted on using AC-level fire-style ninjutsu with the power of AB-level ninjutsu. Scorch-style burns in the sun. Pakula clasped his hands together in front of his chest, and a scorching scorch-style fireball grew skyward. The next moment, Pakula suddenly raised his hands above his head, and the scorch-style fireball in his hand suddenly expanded, reaching a diameter of 10 meters in an instant, emitting terrifying heat like a sun. Die! Pakula let out a low cry, and swung his hands violently. The huge scorch-style fireball smashed towards Uchiha Kamizuki. The next moment, Uchiha Kamizuki's Great Fireball and Pakula's scorch-style fireball collided fiercely. Boom! As Uchiha Kamizuki and Pakula's fire style confronted each other, violent waves of hot fire rushed out like a tsunami, and the temperature inside the tower also rose sharply. The waves of fire hit the tower like a wave on its 4 walls. In such a situation, several Chunin examiners who were in charge of maintaining order immediately used earth-style ninjutsu to protect the central tower, lest it be demolished by Uchiha Kamizuki and Pakula. The large fire wave lasted for 3 seconds, and the rest of the genin candidates realized that Uchiha Kamizuki and Pakula had already lined up on both sides, staring at each other coldly. Is this a real genin duel? What the hell, I feel like 2 Chunins are in my ears. As expected of Sand Shinobi Village and Konoha Village, among the 5 great ninja villages, even genin-level ninjas are so powerful. If Konoha Village and Sand Shinobi Village's genin are at this level, I think we can already abstain. It's not that our army is incompetent, but that the enemy army is too terrifying. A crowd of genin candidates watching the battle looked at Uchiha Kamizuki and Pakula, who were still looking at each other below, and both of them turned pale. There is no way, the gap between them and Uchiha Kamizuki and others is really too big. There is no comparison at all. If a bad response, I am afraid it will be the result of being killed in seconds. Pakula ignored the discussion among the genin candidates, and her attention was always on Uchiha Kamizuki on the opposite side. You are really strong, you are worthy of the Uchiha clan, who is famous in the ninja world. Pakula looked at Uchiha Kamizuki, who was still calm and breezy. Her momentum was getting stronger and stronger, gradually reaching a peak state, and her voice became more and more indifferent, saying, "However, my scorch style is also not an ordinary blood succession limit, so..." Ha ha. Before Pakula could finish his sentence, he was interrupted by Uchiha Kamizuki's loud laughter. Why are you laughing? Uchiha Kamizuki laughed suddenly. Pakula couldn't help frowning, and shouted coldly at Uchiha Kamizuki. I'm laughing at your ignorance. Hearing this, Uchiha Kamizuki stopped laughing and became serious, saying, Since you know that I am from the Uchiha clan, you should know what the Uchiha clan's blood succession limit, Sharingan, is best at. Illusion. When Pakula heard the words, his face immediately changed. Who doesn't know, the people of the Uchiha clan are best at illusion. However, until now, Uchiha Kamizuki seems to have never used illusion. If this is the case, doesn't it mean that Uchiha Kamizuki has never used his real strength? Thinking of this, Pakula's heart suddenly trembled, and the aura on his body froze. Uchiha Kamizuki, don't mess with my mind, so what? I didn't use all my strength. After Pakula took a deep breath, he immediately wiped away the shock in his heart, and his aura suddenly rose steadily again. Ha ha. Hearing this, Uchiha Kamizuki laughed out loud and said, I didn't think you were really stupid, you couldn't even understand what I said. I'm not telling you I'm Uchiha to mess with your mind. What? After Pakula glanced at Uchiha Kamizuki, who was sneering opposite him, he seemed to have thought of something, and his face suddenly changed wildly. No. Impossible. It seems that this time you really understand. Uchiha Kamizuki looked at Pakula, whose complexion changed drastically, and suddenly smiled brighter, and said, It's time to end the fight. No, okay. As Uchiha Kamizuki's voice fell, Pakula immediately saw the world in front of him, and it suddenly became blurred. A feeling of violent exhaustion like a tsunami flooded Pakula's mind in an instant. The next moment, Pakula's body fell limply on the ground, motionless. Seeing this scene, Uchiha Kamizuki raised his head slightly, and whispered into the darkness. Why, the verdict has not yet been pronounced, do you have to wait until I kill her? As Uchiha Kamizuki's voice fell, a voice suddenly appeared in the darkness, indifferently pronouncing, Victor, Uchiha God. As the sentence was pronounced in the darkness, all the genin candidates around exploded and whispered to each other. What's going on here? Why is it like this all of a sudden? Did you fall under the illusion? Illusion? Why didn't I find out? When did that Uchiha Kamizuki do it? This is the legendary Sharingan pupil technique. It's really scary. That's right. I got caught without knowing what was going on. If you meet this Uchiha Kamizuki in the future, Lousy will just admit defeat, there is no need to fight at all. Following the battle between Uchiha Kamizuki and Pakula, Uchiha Kamizuki immediately became one of the most unwilling people to provoke in the minds of all the genin candidates present. What time exactly? Hatake Kakashi's eyes narrowed. In the battle between Uchiha Kamizuki and Pakula, Hatake Kakashi paid attention to the whole process, and hardly missed any detail. However, until now, Hatake Kakashi has not discovered when Uchiha Kamizuki cast the illusion on Pakula. This kind of strength. Hatake Kakashi clenched his fist tightly, feeling heavy in his heart. In fact, not only Uchiha Kamizuki, but also Uchiha Kamizuki's opponent Pakula, Hatake Kakashi also felt very difficult. After all, Hatake Kakashi's current swordsmanship was, to a certain extent, considered a type of body art, and Pakula's scorch style restrained him far more than God Uchiha. Uchiha Kamizuki has illusions to deal with Pakula like this, but how should he deal with Hatake Kakashi? For a moment, Hatake Kakashi couldn't help feeling a little stuffy. Until this moment, Hatake Kakashi didn't know that he, who was the first person in Konoha village, really didn't like it. While Hatake Kakashi was silent, Uchiha Kamizuki had returned to his position. Seeing Uchiha Kamizuki coming back, Sarutobi Tonari immediately came up and asked Uchiha Kamizuki. Kamizuki, when did that Pakula fall under your illusion? Hearing this, Hatake Kakashi also woke up from his contemplation, and immediately pricked up his ears, wanting to hear Uchiha Kamizuki's answer. The actions of Hatake Kakashi and Sarutobi Tonari naturally cannot be concealed from Uchiha Kamizuki's eyes, but Uchiha Kamizuki has no intention of hiding it, and even said, Actually, the moment she killed my clone, she was already under my illusion. How can it be? Sarutobi heard the words, and recalled it carefully in his mind, but he still couldn't figure out what was going on. Thinking of this, Sarutobi shook his head in disbelief. He never saw Uchiha Kamizuki showing the Sharingan of the Uchiha clan, let alone performing illusions. Could it be the crows? Compared with Sarutobi's unbelief, Hatake Kakashi has vaguely grasped some context. After all, Hatake Kakashi is the son of Hatake Tsukumo, so he knows a lot more about the Sharingan of the Uchiha Obito clan than ordinary people. He knew that Uchiha Kamizuki's Sharingan is now at the level of the second level Jade, far from the third-level Jade, and does not have the ability to perform the Sharingan pupil technique at all. Therefore, the illusion performed by Uchiha Kamizuki should have nothing to do with the Sharingan pupil technique of the Uchiha family, and it is most likely a conventional illusion. Looking at the process of Uchiha Kamizuki and Piccola's fight, it is more in line with the situation of using illusion, only the moment when Uchiha Kamizuki's avatar collapsed and the sky was full of crows. With this in mind, although Hotake Kakashi still doesn't know what kind of illusion Uchiha Kamizuki is using, and what specific techniques are used, but Hotake Kakashi has figured out some clues about some general things. As expected of Hotake Kakashi, you can guess 3 or 4 points with just one hint from me. Uchiha Kamizuki glanced at Hotake Kakashi, who was once again lost in thought, and nodded inwardly. In fact, Uchiha Kamizuki just used the crow avatar in conjunction with the Nirvana abode technique. What really made Piccolo fall into the illusion was actually the crow's feathers that fell when the crow clone collapsed. Piccolo always thought that Uchiha Kamizuki released the crow mainly to block her sight. In addition, Uchiha Kamizuki has never been shown, and as the Uchiha family's signature Sharingan, it is not expected that Uchiha Kamizuki will use illusion at this time. Therefore, without knowing it, I fell into Uchiha Kamizuki's Nirvana abode technique without knowing it. Just when everyone was amazed at Uchiha Kamizuki's powerful strength, a group of names appeared again on the large LCD screen in the tower. Hotake Kakashi vs Sakamoto Maya. Kakashi, this time it's your turn. Seeing that the group in this duel was Hotake Kakashi, Sarutobi suddenly became excited, then twitched Hotake Kakashi's shoulder and said, "Kakashi, the gods gave us a good start, don't be too far behind, twins." Hearing this, Hotake Kakashi couldn't help but squeezed his fists fiercely, and said in a cold voice, "HMPH. Just watch carefully." Hotake Kakashi's opponent this time, like Uchiha Kamizuki's opponent, is also a beautiful female ninja. This female ninja is carrying 5 long swords of different colors on her back, and a red and white long whip wrapped around her waist. It is very different from the general ninja dress, and looks heroic. Sakamoto Maya comes from Takumi Ninja Village in the land of craftsmen. It was created by the famous ninja craftsman Kingming. It is a village of craftsmen famous for forging ninja weapons. In today's ninja world, among the ninja tools used by ninjas, nearly 60% of the ninja weapons are from Takumi Ninja Village. Takumi Ninja Village is built near an active volcano, very close to the eruption site of the volcano. The ground fire of this volcanic vein is extremely suitable for forging ninja tools. Compared with forging weapons like artificial flames, it will increase the success rate and quality of ninja things. It is precisely because of this advantage that it attracts most of the craftsmen in the ninja world and becomes the most prestigious forging holy place in the ninja world. Although the Craftsman Ninja Village is just a small ninja village, there were also ambitious 4-day elephants who planned to resurrect Kingming and fight against the 5 ninja kingdoms. Although it was good, it still failed in the end. However, this does not mean that the strength of Takumi Ninja Village is weak. So far, Takumi Ninja Village is still Little Ninja Village. In fact, it is because of ninja tools. Craftsman Ninja Village can create special weapons. The special ninja tools they create are like sealing scrolls, which conceal some unique ninjutsu in the weapon, and can be used continuously. After use, it can be recharged up. Therefore, the strength of Genin and Chunin level ninjas in Takumi Ninja Village is very strong under the boost of special ninja tools. However, these special ninja tools are only foreign objects after all, and once they arrive at Elite Jonin, the effect of increasing them is very limited. Moreover, because the ninjas in Takumi Ninja Village relied too much on the power of special ninja tools, there were no real cage level experts in Takumi Ninja Village, and high-end combat power was very scarce. Coupled with those powerful special ninja tools, the success rate is not very high, not to mention the consumption of precious materials. Therefore, even if the Genin and Chunin of Takumi Ninja Village, and even the ninjas of the Jonin level are very strong, the lack of top powerhouses in Takumi Ninja Village, so far, is still the reason for Ninja Village. Just look at the current Rain Shinobi Village to know how powerful the top powerhouses are. With Hanzo of the Salamander, the demigod, even Konoha Village, the leader of the 5 major ninja villages, dare not attack Rain Shinobi Village at will, making Rain Shinobi Village the most powerful ninja village, with strength close to the 5 major ninja villages. Ninja Village. If it weren't for the fact that the overall strength of Rain Shinobi Village could not keep up with Hanzo of the Salamander, and the 5 major ninja villages were afraid that Rain Shinobi Village would become the 6th largest ninja village, they would have chosen Rain Shinobi Village as the main battlefield for the Sannin World War. Completely disabled Rain Shinobi Village. Otherwise, as long as Hanzo of the Salamander is given enough time, it is very likely that Rain Shinobi Village will develop into the 6th largest ninja village in the ninja world. This is the role of the real top former, and it is also the power that Takumi Ninja Village needs most. While Uchiha Kamizuki was thinking about this, the battle between Hitoki Kakashi and Sakamoto Maya of Takumi Ninja Village had reached a fever pitch. Hitoki Kakashi unleashed the White Fang knife technique one after another. The speed was so fast that it was an ultimate. The gorgeous knife light flew up and down like lightning, constantly wandering around Maya Sakamoto. But Sakamoto Maya's speed is much slower than Hitoki Kakashi's. However, Sakamoto Maya is blessed with a special ninja tool from Ninja Craftsman Village. 5 color long swords can perform 5 attribute escapism respectively. When they cooperate with each other, it is difficult for Hitoki Kakashi to get close. Coupled with the long whip AJFA in Sakamoto Maya's hands, she can also perform long-range attacks, allowing her to advance and attack, retreat and defend, even with the strength of Hitoki Kakashi. It is also difficult to defeat the opponent in a period of time. Fire-style Great Fireball Technique. Hitoki Kakashi suddenly opened his mouth and spewed out a powerful Great Fireball, which directly pushed back Maya Sakamoto, who was approaching closely, and the distance between the two sides was suddenly widened. Hitoki Kakashi, you can't beat me, just admit defeat. Seeing Hitoki Kakashi being forced back by herself, Maya Sakamoto burst out laughing and yelled arrogantly. No way, who told her to crush her opponent, the genius ninja of Konoha Village, the head of the 5 great ninja villages. Such a brilliant record, even if he returns to the village, is enough to make Sakamoto Maya the hero of Takumi Ninja Village. Hehe. You want me to admit defeat? Hearing this, Hitoki Kakashi couldn't help but sneered. His momentum reached its peak in an instant, and then he said proudly. In my opinion, the person who should admit defeat should be you. Following Hitoki Kakashi's stern shout, a large amount of thunder attribute chakra surged out of Hitoki Kakashi's body, frantically gathered on the short sword in Hitoki Kakashi's hand, and condensed to 5 meter long the huge lightning sword. Today, I'll let you see how powerful White Fang's sword skills are. Hitoki Kakashi's face was stern, and his eyes were fixed on Sakamoto Maya, who was opposite him. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.